Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. I don't know what I could say to convince you to hang around when you don't have to. There's so much that I'm still keeping to myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing you. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. God, I'm sick of this waiting. You got me going crazy tonight. So why don't you come on over and be my somebody to love? Somebody to love, somebody to love, somebody. I need somebody to love. I need somebody. I need somebody. Give me somebody, give me somebody, somebody to love. I've seen those faces, I've heard all the lies, but you ain't gazing on someone in denial. 'Cause you want dollar bills right now, but you gotta work real hard. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too. If not, says who? Yeah, you can make it too. If not, says who? You can make it. You had great patience, but something knocked you out. You felt your limitations and filled your mind with doubt. You wanna stay chill right now and don't let your eyes off the prize. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, And I said, see it in your mind, trust that.
It's time for the Mixin and Chillin vlog. Even if they implemented some ridiculous laws, this is something that if somebody truly wants to do this, they can still do it. But it's going to take a lot of effort on the vapors' part to actually learn what it takes to make your own stuff.
I wouldn't change anything.
I don't know what the heck happened to the last hour of my life, but it certainly wasn't streamed on YouTube like I thought it was. Restrictive policies. Oh, wrong scene. This is what happens when you push buttons and things don't work the way they're supposed to, and you're trying to do one thing and the Stream Deck decides, you know what, it's just going to go do its own thing. Let's see if this works today. We cut our bumper short. Hey!
Oh,
I got a giant master above me today.
I am the one.
You can't hear him, can you?
Like, cannot hear us. Oh.
Where did he go? Or I can't hear him again.
Oh. Well, I'm still here. La, 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 la.
Just when you think when you've nailed and ironed out all the bugs, all of a sudden, he and I were just chatting along, you know, before the stream started, and now all of a sudden,
Oh my God. Can you hear me? You can see me, obviously.
Kenny, you're going to have a conversation with them because obviously,
Can
I
you
don't know what's
guys
going
hear
on.
me? Can you guys hear me? If you can, put hi, yes, in the chat. If you can't, put no. If you can hear Alex, you know, put yes, Alex, no, Alex.
I'm sorry, folks. We really did have all this stuff ironed out. We really were having a conversation before the stream started. I can't hear
Pam
him.
Springs has put.
I don't know if he can
Pam
hear
Springs
me.
put yes. Pam Springs has put yes to both of us. So it's just we don't think we can hear each. I can hear you, but obviously you can't hear me. That's where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop boop boop. Do, 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 do. It looks like it's down to me, boys and girls. Can you hear me loud and clear while Alex sorts his cell out?
Hello?
I can hear you, but
I don't know what the
Spriggans
heck
can
happened.
Hear both of us.
I couldn't hear you. My apologies. It turned out to be the Windows took over control of the browser.
Again.
And because it was minimized, it says, oh, I'm just going to save you a bunch of power by disabling this so you don't have to worry about it.
Good old Windows, eh?
Yeah, so essentially what it means is now I need to take the stream app and throw it on top of something else so it just sits there idle and
Okay. You happy with that?
I can hear you. That's all that really counts. It's kind of hard to have a conversation when I can't read your lips.
I was sort of doing a bit of this, you know, and see if you could, you know, like.
Do we really want to just like, you know, restart this whole stream and try and you know, do a take two? I mean, holy moly, people. My apologies. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to the live stream today. I'm so excited. I can't keep track of anything that's going on because, once again, I've made so many changes in here. We're now running a 2-PC setup. Kenny got his wish. So there's another computer behind me on the floor. setup. Because I told you guys last week I couldn't put any more cameras into this computer. As it is, some of them are cut back to like 15 frames per second.
You see, look at that. Did you see that little smug grin? Did you see that little smug grin there? He went like, I didn't know. Yeah, I've got this bad boy now.
Yeah, so if anything's going to go wrong this week, you know, there's a whole list of things that could possibly go wrong.
God damn it. I better not press any buttons in.
Nah, you can press all the buttons you want. Makes it easier when you're debugging, when you have somebody that actually wants to try and, you know, destroy what you got going on.
Well, you know, one's got to try. Oh, my God.
All right, so let's say hello to everybody. Sean Lynch, hello and welcome. Coil, hello and welcome. The Late Night Vape Show is here. Pam Spraggins, William Dobson, Dusty Country Road. Wonderful to see all of you fantastic folks out there. We've got a wonderful stream scheduled for today and a bunch of stuff all lined up. I told you guys last week we're going to be taking a look at Mowgli Vapes Eggnog. There. Oh, I thought I lost that too. His eggnog recipe that we made November 19th. It should thoroughly be ready for us to enjoy and vape.
That should be absolutely delightful now.
We're going to mix up another one shot today. This is Flavrz SPLICE.
You could have told us. You know why?
You got
Here's
that too.
one I made earlier.
Oh! No kidding.
I made that on last Thursday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is that weird? Is that weird how great minds think alike? You know what I mean?
That is awesome.
I'm going to
All
show
right,
you.
so for a
people,
retro
obviously-
e-liquid, here's something you definitely don't have.
I bet.
Awesometown Peach Passion.
Oh,
Look how dark that is.
God, looks like you could put that in your car.
This is one of the first ones I bought, and it just sat in a box the whole time. So, well, I guess we'll find out if it's any good today or if it's going to end up in the bin.
Let's just hope it's matured with age. That's all I'm going to say with that.
Problem with a lot of the peaches that I've had earlier is that they dry out your mouth and they're too harsh on your throat.
Yeah.
Too much malic acid.
Yeah, I've had one like that. The peach, the first hit was nice. But then, like, once you started getting, you could feel your throat dry, and then you, you know what I mean?
And it's especially bad for me because my allergies have been horrendous, and spring's, you know, right around the corner here. So it's like every day, take an allergy pill, because if I don't by noon, my sinuses are gushing, and then by the evening, if I don't take anything, my sinuses get clogged, and I just get this massive headache.
Oh, I bet you do. But if I noticed, if you notice, guys, our time zones are now the same. Our clocks went forward there the weekend, so we are now officially English summertime, even though the weather doesn't reflect that. But yeah, we're on an even time scale again. Hallelujah.
It's another cluster blumber by myself. I posted that it was going to be 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time today, and here you're at 5 p.m. So Google, thank you for giving me the wrong answer.
They went forward on Saturday, I believe it was. You not tell. I've got red eyes. I've lost an hour's sleep. I'm knackered.
You're exactly the same way I was last week. That's crazy.
The reckon it takes the average human about 4 days to adjust to this. I think it's going to take a bit longer for me. Oh, dear.
And like I told you guys last week, we're going to actually start to dive into mechs. I told you guys that I bought a mech for the Vape Apocalypse, and you see it on the table before you on our lovely overhead cams. There's the Aftermath.
Ooh.
It's a mech mod I bought for the Vape Apocalypse.
Oh, very nice.
And in addition to that, we've got the Vandy Vape Maze. Another dripper that I'm sure that you've never seen. Because if you have, I really want to know what your opinion is of it.
The name rings a bell. The name does ring a bell. I might have one, actually. I don't know. It does ring a bell, that name.
Is something very unique because rather than having a traditional coil, they have a maze set up. It's kind of like that rinky-dink NCR dripper that we made the one time where you fold the cotton over the top.
I wonder. It rings a bell, like.
We'll find out what it's like.
I'll have to dig my archives up later when we finish this show. So what might be that? It rings a bell. There's something about that that's chink somewhere in that grey matter.
Mm-hmm. And once again, OBS is crying the blues about encoder overload. This is what happens when you push everything to its extreme limit, and sometimes you push some things past its limit by hacking away to get it to work. Well, but I saved the best part for last.
Tested. It's definitely getting tested with you on it because it is getting pushed to the limit.
I saved the best part for last. There's our 1 meter long 775 coil system.
Oh, you're getting it, man! Oh, can't
straight to my front doorstep from Germany.
Wow. Have you actually looked at it or touched it yet? Have you had a go yet?
I have not had.
How could you spending the time?
Rather than spending the time opening the box up and, diving and delving into it, I figured what better way for you guys to experience the joy of getting something like this than to experience it firsthand. So I spent the week setting up a second computer, 2 more webcams, another microphone, and a new scene in this OBS. So we can literally jump right to the table and have some table time, which is going to be a new featured segment on this channel.
I couldn't wait that long. I'd be straight in, mate. There's no way I could hold out. I'd be straight. I'd have had about 20 sets of coils done now. I'd have been in. I'm sorry.
But see, the thing is, if I would have done that, I wouldn't have gotten anything else accomplished. And I would have had to turn away the service calls that I got this past week, which is a good thing because, this is how I fund this channel. I'm self-sufficient. Nobody gives me any cash to do this. It all comes out of my pocket and my hard-working wife. Oh,
God damn, man. That'd still be very. Oh, I'd be like, I need to go. I need to look. I need a peek in the box. You know what I mean? I couldn't. I'm terrible when it comes to prezzies and vape meal. I'm straight in. Oh, here we go. Oh, there you go.
Flushed him down the toilet. No sound effect necessary.
Fair enough. Speaks for itself, doesn't it?
So, now we are back to our normal standards and things are working kind of the way they're supposed to. Some things are fixed, some things are more broke because more updates got put out there.
The dreaded updates, eh?
Yeah, just tell the audience what happened to you right when we started the stream.
Yeah, I just had to literally restart my computer because, when I first hooked everything up, my camera was running at 2 frames a second. I was like, I was like, what's going on? So I had to restart. So something was running or something had updated. So touch wood, the old computer seems to be back to normal standards after the restart. So something was probably running in the background. I don't know.
Yeah, tell me about it. That computer there had old Windows 10 on it and hadn't been turned on in quite some time. So I had to get everything brought up to date. Then I had to upgrade it to Windows 11 so that they were the same operating system. And here, I love certain features of Windows 11, but certain features of Windows 11 are nothing but a pain in the wazoo.
Yeah. Yeah, to try to make it all more bloody automated onto the do everything for you. You're like, no, I don't want you to do that.
Yeah, everything has become automated on the system, and it is now virtualized to improve your security from hackers that know the system better than the designers of Windows and can obviously circumvent any of this virtual stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yes, and like Pam Spraggin says, they're not talking about Windows 12.
What? No way. Well, I'm going to have to put her up for that one. There you go. And the
automation at its finest. I don't even need to push the buttons anymore.
There you go. You've got no automation. You're fully automated now.
I want to try something here.
Oh, here we go. I don't like it when he says that, you know. Sometimes when he says that's ooh.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. No, you've got I joke. Now what that is.
It didn't work. It didn't say a joke.
Yeah.
One more thing to iron out of the bugs, iron out of the automation system. I am going to eventually get all this stuff nailed out, and then we'll move out of beta and have a real show from beginning to end without any of this dangle clacks. Everything just smoothly works from one scene to the next, to the next, to the next.
How many shows you've done now? Would you see up the top of your head?
This is season 2 of beta.
Was it beta? I was thinking we're still in beta.
And this is our lucky episode 13.
Oh, God.
For season 2.
Hopefully it is a lucky 13. God.
Eventually, we got to get it all right. I mean, it's just an inevitability. It'll
come together, man. Then by the time we'll have beards down here by then, you know. Oh.
Nah. I got to trim mine down, especially with summertime right around the corner, camping season. I can't have a long-ass beard. As soon as I lean over the campfire, it's going to go.
Actually, mine might have to come off.
Yeah, for your job.
With the me driving license, my UK driving license is up for renewal, and I think they might want an updated photo. But all my photos on my driving license are unshaven, so I may have to shave to get me driving license photo.
They're not going to make you shave just to get an ID.
It makes us look younger anyway. You know what I mean? Apparently. My brother, I haven't seen my brother for about a month now because, you know, we live, you know, about 10, 15 miles apart, and, you know, we've all got busy lives and all that stuff. We bump each other now and then. And he went, bloody hell, you look about 90 here, get that on. I went, what? Cheers, you know, not how you doing, or, you know.
The winner of last week's competition was Pam Spraggins, and I did end up getting the package out to her, and she got it in record time.
Wow.
And she just posted in there that she got her package this week. Sent me an email.
Awesome.
We're going to need to do a little bit of information giving later on in the show. Little drug calculations from my paramedic days.
Ooh.
Because everybody seems to have this question. She's not the only person that's asked me this, you know, how do you figure out how many milliliters? You asked the same question. How many milliliters do I need to add of my secret sauce to bring my bottle up to where I normally use it? Definitely, so we'll cover that later on in the show today. But she seems to have mixed up her raspberry bomb, and she thinks that it's awesome.
Oh, very nice. Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know the reason that kind of question pops up, because, you know, like when you buy like these, I suppose when you get 120 money, these shop ones, they only give you enough space to mix it up to 3 milligram. If you're on a higher strength, you've got to, you know, tip it out, whatever, to get more in. You know what I mean?
Or use a higher concentration base to make up your bottle.
Yeah, or a higher concentrate of the sauce. But like I say, in the UK, we're only on, you know, the 18 milligram like bottles that you buy from the shop. So if you like buy a bottle of that and say 2 bottles of secret sauce, which is going to be adding like another 20 milliliters in. You know what I mean? It's there's not enough room to put any more in. If you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
just
I had the
crazy.
same problem whenever I was doing the Salty Man exclusively.
Yeah.
And had to nick up the bottle because that ran into the same problem. Even with the 100 milligram base, when I went to nick this up, there wasn't enough room for it to fill in here and put the cap on without it splashing out at you.
Yeah,
so I literally had
that's
to take a syringe and suck out, like 10 mils of this just to, do it quickly. And then I had another syringe that I would nick up the bottle. And then I would take that syringe that I originally drew out and I would top it off to the line so that the actual calculations came out properly and it was a true 6 milligram liquid.
Exactly. It's nuts though, isn't it? They mustn't have thought of that, I mean, it's not so bad if you can get different strengths, legally of the secret stuff. But like when you've got a retailer just selling the 18 ml,
well, how do you think the people in Canada deal with this kind of crap now? Because they're capped at 20 milligram for their base so that they could nick up a bottle. You know how much of this you're gonna have to draw out to put 20 in there, and how much PG is gonna dilute this down?
And that's gonna
if
be
you were
awful,
nicking this up.
It's gonna be awful. Not gonna be the best, is it?
That's horrible. That's the reason why people need to stand up, become an advocate, and make sure that the next generation. I mean, we've got ourselves all stocked up and ready to go. We're good for the rest of our lives. But what happens, 6 months down the road when a smoker decides, hey man, this vaping shit actually works. I don't need to buy another pack of cigarettes the rest of my life. I feel better. Some of the health issues I had are starting to go away, or they're not bothering me like they used to. I can breathe. I can go up and down flight of steps.
Yeah. It's a sickness.
So we got to stand up and fight for their right to continue using the product like we are.
And then again, that's another advantage of mixing. I mean, you can stock up on all your stuff, that you can still legally buy technically. So you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Never a dull moment. Over on Twitch, somebody spammed the chat saying we can come help you out. We got this beautiful hype setup that we can use. Just subscribe to our product.
Spammers. I think we should get like a bot running for stuff like that. I mean, is a night bot or something with that? I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I can do that. It just never was on my priority list because we only have 4 subs on Twitch, and the stream has been screwed up since day one. Because the way that the virtual cam works and the way that I was sending audio from one OBS to the other OBS to simulcast it, our voices and our audio is delayed like 5 seconds from the video.
Yeah.
So it's like an old Chinese movie, karate movie. Well, no, you know. Oh no, I didn't do nothing.
Bruce Lee's.
That's exactly what it's like if you try and watch it on there. Good thing that we're a talk show, so you don't actually have to watch the talk show to listen to what the content is. Just 2 old men bantering on like a bunch of old ladies.
Well, this is it.
All right, so I can't put it off any longer. I'm sorry, folks. I don't even have a button set up for this because I wasn't taking the time to do all that. Because that's all going to change next week, but it's time for us to switch over to our new table cam scene. Hopefully my audio is going to be loud enough for you. Kenny's coming along, and it's time for us to get this lovely package unboxed.
Oh, it looks like fun. Oh, check this out. Oh, he's got to play musical chairs to get there now, hasn't he?
I do have to play musical chairs. And you can't hear me because I'm clear over here now and on a different microphone.
There we go. Look at that.
And a different OBS.
You've got an echo.
Yes, I'm sure I do. Because you're hearing me twice. But for the stream, it should be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
There's no need to repeat yourself.
I got to look at the right camera. How you doing?
I'm saying there's no need to repeat yourself, you know.
It's time for me to move the mouse and get this package open.
This is awesome. This, like, how many shows? How guys? How many shows have you got with multicam views, multi setups? Come on, this is a first. Oh,
How you doing over there?
Yeah, I like it.
Look at that spool.
Whoa, that's one big spool. I hope you haven't got to spool that up.
Another
Oh,
box.
yes. I'm not being funny, like, but if I go very green, you know it's with envy. Well, actually, you know, I'm not going to say never, because, like I say, I'm just, with me starting work again, the funds might be there, so you never know. Never say never, as they say. Oh my God. I love that. I'm going to highlight that. I'm sorry, I've got to do it. William Dobson just comment, if that is a tank, then will you have enough juice?
I think these were just packaging boxes. Keep everything stable.
And then he's followed up. Only problem, what does it go on? I love it. Brilliant. That's awesome, that, like. William Dobson strikes again. That's a big vape.
All right, that camera's not going to work. There.
That's better.
Hey, how you doing? This is crazy.
I'm getting dizzy here. He's popping up all over the shop in here. What's he like? Oh dear. That looks like you get plenty there, like, doesn't it? Good old vape meal. Can't beat it. I bet it works brilliant now when you go to set up. I bet, because it looked good on the website. For any of you people that don't know what this is, I'm not going to be, well, bollocks, spoiler alert. It is a machine that a German guy has designed to make your own coils easier than, I shall say, a bit easier than using the old traditional hand drill and everything. You know, he's come up with a device. It's got the built-in motor and everything. It's got a nice, like you say, a meter slider bed. Yep, it's a coiling tool. It's a big coiling tool, Dusty Road. This is coiling tools to the extreme. This is like...
Look at that motor.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Oh, you see, guys, it's something that's built in. It's got a proper... The spinner on the end of it is designed so it'll not...
This is all 3D printed. Variable speed. Control.
Oh, I love it. I'll tell you what it is, Alex. Hunky, William Dobson is on form today, mind. William Dobson has put, have you thought about a drone? As we can follow you around and get the cordless mic that can clip to you.
Yeah.
Don't say that to him, William. He will. He'll gonna get a drone for his office. He'll have something buzzing about. You seen is that a wasp in your office, sir? Nope, it's me drone. Whee!
Look at these jigs. Clamps to clamp it down to the table.
God, there's plenty of kit there, like that. It would, William, solve everything. Well, it'd be better if I could operate the drone from this end.
Don't give me any ideas. I can make that kind of stuff happen.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
and I do have an adapter, international adapter, or because it's a standard fitting.
Oh yeah, you guys in the US have got that funny electric, haven't you? The 2-plug.
Problem solved.
Yeah, you've got that funny electric where you belong, haven't you? Them funny plugs.
110.
Yeah, the funny plugs. See, that'll work better in Europe because it's got 240 volts of power going through it.
Yeah, but it's come down to 12 volts. Yeah, 12
oh yeah,
volts,
so
5 amp brick.
It's got the little transformer. Oh yeah, so I got you. Yeah, okay, Smarty, you've got us on that one.
And actually, I was using one of these yesterday to power a monitor, flat screen monitor. I got called to do a service call. The monitor was black, and all it turned out to be was the power supply went bad.
Oh god!
So I keep these in stock anyway.
You never know. It's the man's collection of wires. That's why we collect wires, because you never know when they come handy. It looks like a little mini lathe.
That's essentially how it works. Need to make sure that it's turned the right direction.
Looks pretty cool, like. For being 3D printed, looks pretty good quality. I like the fact that it all just slides on that rail. You know what I mean? It's mint, and it's like it'll be all like one unit when it's all assembled, won't it? Does the motor sit on that bed as well? Yeah.
Yes, it does. Has the same basic tracks and mounting.
That's mint. That. That's a meter. That's a meter long. That's gonna take some wire to make a meter of wire.
Well, the whole track is a meter long, but you can adjust it to however you want. You know, so if you want to make a 1 foot long strand.
Oh, I would imagine that, but I mean, you're going to get somebody that's going to try and make a meter, aren't you? Somebody's going to try it, aren't they? These are the new coils, folks. If you do this coil about a meter long, you'll get about 50,000 wraps. Holy moly. Yes, William, you're right. We are the poor people who use a drill in a spinner. Yeah. You're so right.
Yeah, but the advantage of this one is going to be once this is set up on this table, this will permanently be set up and ready to make coils at any time.
It's awesome. It's a nice little bit of kit for what it is. There you go. Adjusted, lock it down, ready to rock and roll. Once you've clamped it to the table, of course.
Yes. See what else we got here.
So I was wondering, did he send any like wire samples or anything, or?
All right, I'm going to take this one back to the real table.
Yeah.
And then we can play with this once I get the camera set up in a fixed position. But that's really good quality stuff.
It looks
3D
like a part,
printed.
like. Really does look the part. Especially that bearing on that spinner. That'll last forever, that.
Yeah, ceramic bearings. Ceramic ball bearing in there.
That's absolutely awesome.
And I can literally screw the power supply down. There's actually places where you can attach the screws, and then this will be permanently fixed to this table.
That's so cool. Is that a speed adjustment knob on there as well, is it?
Yes.
For your rotation. That's so cool.
So you can adjust it forward or backward, and you can change the speed.
That's brilliant. Do you reckon you began full belt like by the time you get some practice in? Wow.
It's like everything else. Once you get started, you just turn it up to max speed and just let it keep running.
Let it rip. That's so cool. Looks really nice. Oh God, you got me wanting one of them now. Like, you swine. Oh, what you like? I hate you. I do.
There's our Awesometown Peach Passion. There's the Flavrz one-shot spice. And our Mowgli Eggnog.
Yeah, Mowgli Eggnog. I think you're looking forward
But
to
that's
that
not
one.
why I came here. Included in your complete kit are these lovely little devices. So you can sit there and clamp your fused wires together. And then just tighten this down so that you don't get any twists in it.
It just keeps it nice and flat while it's gone and made the wire flat.
And then you can pull it out and then, put a final tighten it up. And when Frank was emailing me, he says he sends one of these out in every complete kit. Or you can purchase them separately on the website as well.
That's brilliant. Goodies, goodies, goodies. Holy moly.
Here's your ball bearing.
That's just another end and a spare end.
Spare.
Spare bearing.
Then obviously your tools to tighten and loosen the chuck.
Yeah,
Some spare hooks to get you started in there.
That's so cool. So smart. That's quite impressive. Yep, the old magic chucky.
But I love that. Giving you a set of hooks ready to go. You can put into that drill chuck.
I like that touch. Like instead of like having to spread them out and clamp into each of the jaws, you've got a nice hook. You can just whop it straight on.
Mm-hmm.
He's thought of everything when you think about it, hasn't he? He's put some thought into it.
I'm very impressed with this kit. I haven't even used it yet.
Ooh. Ooh, what's that bit?
That's a good question.
I may have to check the manual for that one. It's obviously some kind of, attachment in it so you can...
I think this is the piece that goes through that end. So not only do you get a spare swivel, but if your old swivel were to overheat or something and deform this, this is what it gets mounted into.
Yeah. It's like a spare shaft that'll go in it type of thing. And obviously your bearing will probably sit in that. So you just drop your bearing in, clamp that on, and that'll be happy days. That's...
So you get a complete spare setup for the end.
That's brilliant. Very good. Very, very good.
And then the one thing that I ordered on top of this, like I was talking about last week when I was making my own coils with that little tool that we use every week. Instead of this little tiny thing being used to wrap your coils. I ordered
look at this. What
a coiling tool, a proper coiling tool.
What on earth is that? That's a daddy, that. Holy moly. That is a daddy. Holy shit. That's huge. God damn. That is massive.
Just simply clamping it in to the end there, like that.
That's one big ass handle to make a 3 milli coil.
But it needs to be this big for you to comfortably be able to wrap your coils. You know how tired my hand was after using that little tiny thing?
And I would know it. You've got a sympathy for some people that still use them little screwdrivers. You know what I mean? It's cool, like I'll give it that. It's cool, yeah. Bob's your uncle, Dan's your aunt. There you go. Awesome. Like I say, I suppose, like I say, if the old hands are starting to lose a bit of their dexterity, you've got at least something you can grab out of, innit? Oh.
That is fantastic.
It is. Done and dusted. Easy peasy. William Dobson was asking if the machine has something to keep the tension on the wire. Well, that's how you space it out on that slide on that deck. You get your tension in your spacing. I would have thought.
On the end here?
Yeah. I'll just wind that in, yeah, and tighten it up. Yeah. There you go, yeah. You can wind it in to tighten it.
Yes.
Again, another good idea. The thought that's gone into that, like, is really good. I'm well impressed with that, like.
So once you get your wire tightened in here, you can use this.
Just to get your tension
on it. And adjust how much tension you want.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's awesome, that. Absolutely awesome.
I am very impressed with this setup.
Looks the business, like. It looks the old dog's bollocks, as they say. Mm.
Wow. And this is the real kicker.
That's spot
You
on,
saw how
that.
quick
Nice
and easy it
little
was to make that.
Yeah. Right, guys and girls, all I want to say, if you want some coils built, get your orders in now at co.k Hunky Vapes at hunkyvapes.com. Coil builder extraordinaire. That's mint. It's pretty cool, but I just think it does look a bit big and bulky.
I love the fact that it's big and bulky because it makes it easier for you to hold it.
Yeah,
and then spin it.
I can see the pros of it, but I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. I mean, it does a cracking job, but it just looks overkill. That's the word I'm looking for. Maybe it's a bit of overkill for what you want it to do. That's probably what I'm kind of thinking.
Try doing that for an hour with this little tool.
I wouldn't probably last it. I wouldn't do it for an hour because, like you said, it takes you what, a minute to wrap a coil. So you'd have to be wrapping quite a few coils in that for an hour.
And then the other thing about this one is once you pull this out, like I can take and pre-bend it.
Yeah.
There's your cord ready to go.
Yeah, it's cool.
To do it with this one, it's a different battle. You either run the wires down through these little holes here.
Yeah.
That basically bring it out this way. And then you're left with a sideways leg.
I can, like I say, I can see the pros with it, but I'm just kind of thinking that with the size, I just think it looks like it's overkill. I think it could have maybe made it a bit smaller, but you know what I mean? Not like obviously the size of the coily tool, you know. But I mean, it's huge.
Oh, and you can take this and throw this into your drill.
Got ya.
And use your drill to just wrap them.
It may clamp onto that machine you bought. Put it in the chuck on that machine. Whee!
And like I said, this one was bought exclusively as a 3mm device. And you can get them in different sizes.
Yeah.
Or, if you wanted to, they actually sell a coiler tool that lets you swap them out.
That's what I thought. I thought it would be better if they were interchangeable. Because that would be buying a lot if you wanted, well, 1, 2, 3. Like
so you would want the universal one.
Yeah.
Where the universal one lets you actually swap them out.
Yeah. That would probably be the better option. It's a clever idea. I'll give them that. It is a clever idea. But I see where you're coming from. You can get a good grip of it, get a good purchase on it to wrap your coils. I can definitely see that. But like I say, like the coily tools are meant with, you add that other bit on and you wrap it with that, that adapter. You don't actually wind it manually type of thing with your fingers.
I love the fact that this thing has an actual handle that is big enough that you can literally manipulate it in your hand comfortably. Trying to manipulate this thing with smooth edges all the way around becomes a pain very quickly. I mean, for round wire coils, this would have been fantastic, and that's all you would have needed. But for us to be able to build these complex coils, these, triple and quadruple fuse Claptons, you need something that's got some decent control to it.
I can say that.
I'm very glad I got this.
With your bigger chunky coils, it'll be much easier to wrap, without a doubt.
And you're going to get a better end result because of it.
I've got you.
And the price is right. I couldn't argue about that.
No.
I mean, granted, for me in the States, obviously it costs more because I got to ship it all the way across the ocean, but...
Well, to be honest with you, it's not pretty cheap to go ship the UK either from Europe, you know what I mean? Seeing we're not in the EU anymore. I mean, I was looking at some... I think it was some juice. Or was it a flavour concentrate, and they made it in Poland or something, and it was going to cost more to ship it than what it was to buy it. I was like, no. No, not happening.
No, I totally get it.
You would have to buy like 1,000 litres to make it worthwhile the shipping costs, you know what I mean?
How much was the shipping? Well, I'm going to go pull up the order. It's about $80.
That's still good from Germany. That's still pretty good.
Well, considering when I sent you your Christmas package, it was like 65 or something.
Exactly. That's
so
what I mean. That's really
actually
good.
$80 was a very reasonable price to ship it.
Plus for the size of the package as well, and obviously the weight.
Yes.
I mean, obviously there's not much weight in it because it's all 3D printed, but there's still some chunky bits in there to put a bit of weight in. But wow. Looks very impressive, matey. Very impressive. So,
let me find the email, give you the actual cost.
I'm going to call it Hunky Coils, or Coils by Hunky, or DJ Coils.
Listen, when I was doing my service call yesterday, somebody had asked me, and they're like, because we were having a conversation about vaping, it's obviously something that I bring up if they, ask about it. Yeah. But they were like, do you make your own juice? Have you thought about selling it? I'm like, no. To be honest with you, I never once considered selling it.
Yeah, you've got to get a manufacturer on board for that, and like you see in America, that's not going to happen too.
Could I manufacture it? Sure. Yeah. But what's the point of me making it and then potentially getting myself in trouble?
You'd have to have a PMTA and all that crap to sell it.
And they're not going to give you one. Nope. They have yet to issue a PMTA for an e-liquid.
They'll just chase you. No. Are you a big company like Big Tobacco or Big Pharma? No. Well, you're not getting a PMTA. Sorry. What? You've got a suitcase full of money you can throw at us? Yeah, we'll give you it.
Yeah. All right, so that's what happens when you have so many different emails.
I keep it simple. Ooh, chilly.
All right, I'm going to look this up while I do. Why don't we roll our flavor explosion? Sorry, I tried to find the email in time. I got the emails back and forth between Frank and I, but I don't have the actual receipt for the purchase readily available. But I think it was about $80. Because I remember when I first budgeted this whole thing, you know, and what I told my wife it was going to cost for the whole thing, and I told her it was going to be plus shipping, and I didn't bother to factor in, you know, the fact that shipping is actually a good portion of that purchase price.
Definitely.
But if I'm not mistaken, I do think it was about $80.
Awesome. At the end of the day, it's now sitting on your desk, ready for you to play with, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, plus you also have to factor in, you know, the fact that it's in euros and converting dollars to euros. The middleman's going to take their little cut too.
Oh, of course they are. What's the joys of it, mate? What's the bloody joys of it all? I'm going to come see.
Yeah, because I was originally looking at 180 euros for the Coil complete 775 Coil system, and then $20 for the Coiler tool. It's 200. It actually costs a little over 300. But it is what it is, and I'm going to enjoy it.
It's money well spent. It's a good investment, and it's going to save you a fortune on coils. Because you'll be ready. Whatever you make, that'll last you the rest of your life anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't need to buy coils anymore.
No, never again. So the pay for itself in the long run.
And think, I'm really going to be happy with this one.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I see where you're coming from. You can get a little better finesse with something like this, but I like the simplicity of this, and the clamp is built into it.
I think, like I said, with the coily tool, it's not really wholly designed for hand wrapping because you've got that little adapter and you just twist with that little adapter. That's probably why what it's designed for, technically. You know what I mean?
This one.
That one's like for hand wrapping, but the little one isn't because you've got that end to put on and you just twist out, you wrap that end around when you make your coils. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, when you go to twist this, let me pull out a piece of wire. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, here we have some very small BP mod stuff. I'm going to swap this out, put like a 2.5 in there.
Two 2.5 milli coil. Got ya. Get over there, you. That's it.
Now, obviously, as a mouth to lung coil, this is going to be nice and flexible and relatively easy to work with.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like with the thicker, more complex coils, they're going to be harder to wrap. With being so small.
But in order to wrap this, you're going to have to slide this down through this hole.
There's a groove in the face. You can slot it in there.
Yeah, but I found that that deforms it even further.
Really?
Because then now you got to pull it out.
And straighten the leg. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I know what you mean now.
Now, for mouth to lung coils, this is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for your smaller coils.
Mil.
Yeah. Like I say, for your small coils, it'll be spot on. Like, but like I say, for them bigger ones, you know, triple core clappings or staple stacker fuse clappings, whatever it is, the big exotic coils, it'll be easy to wrap them.
These are the ones that I wrapped myself using that original coiling tool. You know, made half a dozen of them.
Right.
And my hands were cramped up after sitting here doing it. Yeah, it wasn't quite an hour long. You know, it was just doing one after the other, trying to get them to look as good as they look and, you know, paying a little attention to details. But if I had this, it would have gone a lot faster and my hands wouldn't have been as fatigued when I got done with it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get where you're coming from with it, without a doubt.
That's why I didn't order the multi-adapter. I mean, yes, it cost more. And, you know, could I have used it? Sure. But in the whole time that I've been vaping, other than when I'm playing with something, I've never used a 3.5 millimeter coil or a 4 millimeter coil. I've put some 3.5 and some 4 millimeter pre-made coils into devices like the TFV18 RBA.
Yeah.
I have some stainless steel coils that are 4 millimeter that I put in there rather than putting, you know, two smaller coils in, 2.5 millimeter coils, just put a 4 in. And I got better airflow and better flavor out of it than if I would have put two smaller coils in.
I mean, to be honest, I very rarely use anything bigger than the 3 mil. Like, I'm very rarely.
98% of the coils, you know, that I'm putting in are 3 millimeter. Speaking of which, this Matto we did a couple weeks ago, I've been loving the shit out of it.
Really?
Especially when with this flavor shot.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't something that I could put into my arbiter and vape all day long.
No.
But
anyway, you've ran the bumper. So, what beverage have you got this week?
Oh yes, yes, thank you. I do. You don't have anything?
I've gone very simple. Oh, you've gone the Rebel?
I told you guys I was going to do an eggnog this week. And we've got an eggnog hard latte.
Well, I've gone, because obviously all you folks know I've started work again today, so my time has been rather consumed. So it was a case of quickly running into the off license, and I got, saying I'm here with an American friend, I got the good old American beer, the Budweiser.
Budweiser.
So I'm on the Budweiser. I thought I'd, you know, my little tribute to all you Americans there. I'll get some Budweiser, king of beers, as they say, you know. Yeah, I don't mind this. It's not bad. It's coming in at 4.5% volume, so you know, not blow you away, but you know. But as always, to your health, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To your health.
God, yeah. There's nothing like that first slug of beer, is there? Or coffee in your tea.
What impresses me is, just like last week, we had that cinnamon roll latte one.
Yeah.
And how I told you that you could hardly tell that this is an alcoholic beverage. Yeah, there's that slight hint of the alcohol in there. But this is truly an eggnog latte.
Really? Wow. That's so strange. Oh, and as a bonus, I'm nibbling on some prawn cocktail cheapy crisps. So there you go. Or chips. Is it chips? What they call in America? Not crisp, chips.
Chips. You guys call them crisps.
Well. Why not?
It's going to be an ASMR video today.
Sorry?
Bud, your colors. Yingling is better. Yes, Yingling is a much better beer than Budweiser, in my opinion. It's also a little sweeter. Has more body to it. But
it's an okay beer. I mean, I've had better, as we all have, as your acquired taste. But it's an okay, for a cool one after a day's work and stuff. It's all right.
They call themselves the king of beer for a reason, because they became popular.
Yeah.
They're not the best beer that's available, and nowadays with all the craft beers that are being sold everywhere, I mean the choices are just endless.
It is, man. And there's even some stuff you're thinking, wow, does it really make a beer out of that?
Yeah. Sam Adams is wonderful, because they come out with all these very flavorful beers. Some of them are really potent on the hops, and some of them have, more of a mellow flavor that blends the different grains that go into making that beer. But they have some wonderful seasonal varieties.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin. They put pumpkin into beer.
Like I say, it's just amazing what you can probably make alcohol out of just about anything in this day and age, really, couldn't you? We'll put that in, yeah, we'll make alcohol out of that.
And as I promised, I am going to give Mowgli Vapes Eggnog a try here. If I can get this cap off for the dripper. That's the Geek Vape Loop. We did that quite a while back.
The loop, it's brilliant little day out here.
And to go with my eggnog latte, we have Mowgli Vapes Eggnog Recipe.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
0.18, 50 watts is not going to be enough.
Come on then, refresh. Better.
Doesn't quite smell like eggnog.
I've just had to refresh the social stream there. It froze up. I was wondering why everything went. I thought everybody went quiet.
There goes my allergies.
Excuse you.
Yes, excuse me.
Mm. Oh man. Because the better half, your better half, is in the house, stating she's eating lunch and watching. So there you go.
Fantastic. Put a little e-liquid on the inside of that. Make this easier to get on and off.
Oh, nice then. I like a little snack. Fair enough, William. William Dobson just said he was ignored. We'll just ignore me. Swine.
I need to scroll down to the bottom. There's been a bunch of chat in here.
Yeah. I've just refreshed mine, but yeah. Because I thought everybody stopped talking and William's just they're just ignoring me, so that's fair enough.
He said, have you thought about a drone at Hunky Vape?
Yeah.
When I was on the table. You can follow me around, get a cordless mic to clip on me, yes. Any good squonks out there?
Really, you don't want to put ideas into this man's head because he will do it.
I do plan on getting a drone for the other channel, but I wasn't considering flying it indoors here. This Lost Vape's been good for me so far. Obviously, some people have had trouble with this bottle staying on the bottom. We talked about that before.
Yep, mine.
Any of the Pulse devices are good squonkus. I've got the V1 and then the V2.
Of course, there's the one that wiped, that changed the world of squonk is the top side.
Yes. That is one that I haven't been able to get a hold of, is the top side. But a lot of people say that's a fantastic squonking device.
It's awesome. It's just the filling. It's just a case of taking the cap off, filling it up like you would anything and everything else. I mean, there is the top side carbon as well, which is the more expensive one with the Yeehee chip in. But, I like the original top side one. It's absolutely spot on. The chip in there is really good as well.
Yeah, there was a comment that William Dobson made earlier about us poor people just using cordless drill and fishing spinners.
We do.
I did that route. I tried that. Not on camera, because you can't, have it stay in one place. You're holding the camera here. You're trying to hold the wire here. You've got the other end clamped down to the table. I've got the vise that I've had and put the fishing swivel in the end of that. Put a couple of them stacked up one after the other because they're not as perfect as a ceramic-based bearing. And, trying to get them, I just couldn't get the hang of it. It was too much going on to manipulate.
Plus, fishing swivels are not designed to rotate at a speed like that. You know what I mean?
No. You got 3 of them stacked up in a row. And I've tried stainless steel bell bearings. I've tried the ones that are lubricated and the ones that are, supposed to run dry. Especially for me trying to do this on a channel, to be able to do that as a live stream show one day, making different kinds of wires. I need something that's clamped onto the table and something that I can legit just control the wire and then use this hand to control the speed of the rotation.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of coil builders that have done it. There was that Squiggly guy or Squidgy guy or something. He used to do some good ones, but obviously he had a fixed camera, purposely set for what he was doing. You know what I mean? But yeah. William Dobson, which top side? Single battery, dual battery, carbon, or the Mech? I've got the dual battery one, which I think is mint. Like I say, the other ones are variations of it, but for a run of the mill, the dual battery's mint. Or even the single battery, if you want something smaller.
Yes. The clamps that came with this work like paper clips or clothespins. But the difference is when I tried using paper clips before, you would always leave a deformity in the wire from where your paper clip is because the tension is a fixed one that is designed to hold paper together. This one allows you to tighten it only as much as you need to hold those wires in place.
Perfectly, aye. Clever stuff.
Yeah, and so far it looks good. Obviously, I'm going to play with it later on this week and, make my first set of wires and coils on there, but
can't wait to see the result of that, matey. Can't wait to see them results. Like I said, guys, get your orders in now.
To set it up a system where I can replicate it and make the same every single time.
Yes, William. The SE does have that's my only gripe with the top side. The battery doors a bit. Sometimes if you put it down too hard on the table, that battery door actually pops open because it's like if you can imagine like that, it's like a flip and a slide like that. But so when you put it in, it kind of pops out. And you pick up your batteries, drop out. That's the only drawback with it, really, with a dual one anyway.
I have the same problem with my Dove Po Odin.
Yeah.
You put that down on the table too hard, and it keeps.
Yeah. I found out with that one, but I can't really comment on the other ones because I've never really owned them. So I'm just going by what I've had.
However, this past week when I was, cleaning the stuff up and setting the computer up and everything, I dropped this thing onto the floor and it popped open as usual. Now I don't have that problem with the bottom of this. You literally have to get it, push it to get out. And I can't tell if maybe this lip got bent down a little bit further.
Possibly.
But now when I push it in, it latches in there and this does not come out anymore. I don't have that problem anymore.
That's probably what we need. Need to give him a good bash on the table, I think.
I think what happened is it fell onto the ground and it opened up. And when it opened up and it was tumbling, it actually bent the other lip in just a hair. Just a half a millimeter is all it took. And now there's no more play in the bottom of this. And when I put it down on the table, it doesn't pop open anymore. You legit have to push this to get it to open.
There you go. Bash your mods up the table.
And drop them on the floor.
Yeah, just drop them. If you've got a dodgy door, just drop it on the floor. It'll be fine. It'll fix it.
Okay, well, it's time to do the impression for this eggnog.
Oh, sorry, we did sidetrack. See, we always get sidetracked, when he's doing something, we just veer off onto another tangent. We're terrible for that.
Not an eggnog.
No.
The spices that go into your eggnog are very, very prominent on this. But there's no creamy aspects of it. There's no eggy notes to it like you get on this. So, as far as eggnog goes, I'm glad I didn't vape this at Christmas time. That's straight up spice. And it's kind of a bland flavor on your tongue too. There's no like creamy aspects to it.
That's a shame. It sounded good, but it's a shame it hasn't turned out as how we expected.
Yeah. Well, I was really hoping to enjoy this eggnog and pair it with this eggnog drink. Let's try that.
Well, you know what's making it a bit more spicier. Thank God, while I die quietly. Oh God, that is a kick.
You all right there, buddy?
I've got a bit of a chesty cough. I've been chesty the last couple of days, so it's like very heavy. It's this weather, man. Over here, it's warm one minute, it's cold the next, and you're like,
Paired up, these two things are wonderful because the spices in here accentuate the spices in here. This leaves you with a creamy aftertaste on your palate.
It's leaving you with the flavor that's missing out of the vape, basically.
But by itself,
not good.
I still have the creamy notes of this left on my tongue, so this accentuates it. But if I pick this up in 5 minutes to vape it,
yeah, there's no creaminess, is there? That's a shame.
No, and the spices are way too strong. In an eggnog, those spices are just a back note, a backseat note, a side note.
That's probably what they've done. Maybe they've been heavy on the spices and very shy on the vanilla instead of being the other way around,
Yeah, so that's definitely not a one shot. that you can mix up and enjoy just by itself.
Yeah.
That's something that you're going to have to pair up with a nice vanilla custard or something.
Yeah.
And maybe throw in, you know, some butter or something to give you more of an egg note to it.
It's a shame. Absolute crying shame. Oh, well. It's like you say, you win some, you lose some, don't you? It's all the name of the game.
And I'm glad I only made a 30 ml bottle of it.
There you go. Oh, my God, better.
That'd be a good thing to add to my Christmas cupcake recipe.
Ooh.
Up the spices in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being right, yeah. Just add some to that.
First one down.
You like that rebel stuff. You see, he likes that stuff. It doesn't last from 2 minutes, does it?
Time for a can too.
I'm an easy mix. I'm at work tomorrow, so I'm going easy tonight.
But I think it is time for us to move on. Are we going to do our retro vape, or do you want to do a random recipe?
We'll do a random recipe first. We've had
Oh, I'm trying to get everything set up and situated here. Unfortunately, trying to throw some noise suppression there on Kenny's thing with him eating the chips.
Sorry.
And
I'm a crunching
your
yeah.
microphone's picking everything up. It sounds like an
I'm
ASMR channel today.
Oh.
Last week I pulled the noise suppression off of his microphone because, you know, while we were sitting here chatting away, once we figured out last week he was using his webcam microphone instead of the Rode mic. And once we realized that and switched it to the Rode mic, everything was crystal clear. And I'm like, oh, we don't need any of this noise suppression. It sounds fantastic just the way it is. Okay. I know what that's time for.
That worked, didn't it? My apologies. So anybody can hear us scrunching, I do apologize.
The mods just banned Kenny.
My apologies if you can hear us scrunching in your ears then, okay?
Oh, so what are we going to make today?
Yeah, oh wait. Let's have a look. Razzle My Dazzle. What's Razzle My Dazzle?
Let's take a look. Sweet raspberry, super sweet, and whipped cream.
That's
Holy
simple,
percentages. Look at that. 10% of sweet raspberry.
Whoa.
Okay, I've pushed sweet raspberry that high before, but whipped cream at 14%.
Whoa.
This is definitely a shake and vape.
That's a creamy one, that man. Razzle My Dazzle. Oh. That's so cool. Oh, it's by Nevins. Nevins is a good juice maker.
Well, let's give it a try.
I'll tell you what I'll do, right? Every time I take a bite, I'm going to mute me mic.
All right, so let's see, where are we going to do this? Make that a 3. And everything else is going to stay the same. I'm going to bump up the super sweet.
I like where it's got vodka. Not. It's like water vodka. I like that. Who puts vodka? Do you put vodka in?
No, but I have seen and talked to mixers that do regularly add that to their stuff.
Really? I wonder what it's actually like. Have you ever tried it? A vodka
I'll have to give it a shot. That might be the beautiful adult beverage for next week. I've got some Polish vodka. Sobieski. You can have that as our adult beverage.
Yeah. And vape it. Whoa, this is great.
Do shots and then add it to their mixing for a recipe.
Wow. It'll be Alex falling off the chair, not me. You'll be falling off the chair with that lot. Jesus.
And by the time you finish the bottle, I don't care. Everything's going to be fantastic.
Oh, look. Here's this musk I made earlier. Absolutely lovely. Why did I say this was so bad?
Have I come across the Big Mac juice yet? No, I did. So I did see the report that somebody came up with a Big Mac E-Liquid. I haven't seen the recipe published anywhere.
What?
Mary Nixon, hello and welcome. So Razzle My Dazzle is what we're going to make today.
Your better half said you don't get drunk. I promise I've tried. I see.
I'm sorry, I can hold my liquor. Well, what do you want me to say?
I can't. I'm a sniff of the bar's apron now, mate. That's it. I'm done.
All right. TFA, sweet raspberry, super sweet. From Capella and SSA whipped cream.
Hello, Mary Nixon, and welcome.
Simple 3 recipe banger. I have so many tools on my table right now.
I'm kind of in
on
that
the desk
ballpark.
behind me.
Your better half said you don't even feel it or have to pee in AMO. Okay, got a good haircut. I must admit, when I go on the alcohol, it just goes through me like a Porsche. It's literally one, I'm like one of them water features, where the water's constantly coming out of there and you put it on one end. You know what I mean? It's just like that. McDonald's.
All right, see where we're at.
That'd be cool, that, like. I would have a bash at that, like a Matty D's. Like, I would definitely have a gun at it, like.
Yeah, I saw the original article where they talked about how this guy created this Big Mac recipe. And it's basically just the dressing that they put on the Big Mac. That's the main portions of the flavoring.
Oh, I love that's the best part of me. I just love that sauce. The high on, it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I could eat Big Macs all the time.
The thing is, though, if it was in a vape and it didn't agree with us, you would have to stand at least 6 meters in case I projectile vomited all over you.
Oh, that's not nice.
Like,
I think it would taste fantastic.
yeah, you didn't, do you? You just didn't. Yeah, you know, experiment, innit? That's what you got to do.
All right, so for our little experiment, here's our whipped cream flavor. 14% is whipped cream, so we're going to be using 4.2 milliliters out of this tiny 10 ml bottle.
Wow.
And
That's
it
gotta
would
be
help
sweet,
if I
that, though.
didn't have this set up in ounces.
Oh. $4.2. That's a lot. That sounds like it's going to be very sweet.
I've never pushed whipped cream that much, let alone this one.
Exactly.
Can't hear anything. Your chip bags. Oh my goodness.
I try to do it discreetly under the table as well. Last one.
All right, so let's tear this out. And we're going for 3 mils to achieve 10% in this.
Oh God, that sounds nice. William Dobson, a friend of mine had a maple syrup and bacon juice. He was given a 30 ml bottle, and to be honest, not something I would vape again. I don't blame you, mate.
And looks like for our 3,
Oh, man.
0.93 grams of our secret sauce.
God, I do apologize. I've seriously got the munchies in here now. What's the matter with me, Denise?
Oh, my wife and I were in that mood the other day.
Oh,
I took
what?
Saturday off. She was off. And Friday, my daughter and my wife went to go see Blake Shelton concert in Pittsburgh.
Oh, very nice.
So needless to say, Saturday was a recovery day for the concert.
I see.
They had a fantastic time. And now all we need is to top off this 27.43, and this is not a 70-30 mix. This is a 2873 mix in our recipe. Which is what the original was set up to be, so might as well keep it that way.
It sounds nice. Look, when you look at the recipe, you're thinking, See, the thing is, with it being a Razzle Dazzle, excuse me, you could probably swap that raspberry out for maybe another flavour of your choice. You could maybe go strawberry, you could maybe go peach, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, because fruits and creams go together really well.
Exactly.
Waiting for my label printer to come on.
I'm sucking me crisps now to make it quieter.
Your Rode microphone picks up everything, buddy.
I didn't realize it was that sensitive.
Well, that's because, you know, up until now, we've always had like noise suppression on multiple layers put on. Because when we were going through Zoom, they had noise suppression. And then we had it on top of it as well. So it was literally just your audio.
You do get like some like a settings software with it where you can play about with some of the settings as well, like, you know. So I mean, if it needs knocking down, I'll probably play about with it.
No, you don't need to play with it. I just need to put the filter back on that we had last week before I got, you know, so carried away and just deleted it altogether. I can put that back on, and then even if I needed to during the stream, I could adjust it from being 20% reduction to crank it up to 100% reduction.
Yeah. Oh, well, as long as it's all right for you at your end, that's the main thing.
It's up to the audience. It's not up to what I want. So what do they think?
Yeah. Are we too loud? Nope. That's not good. Yes, Mary Nixon, I am still loving my little Motti X as well. Absolutely cracking little big thing, this, like, honestly, brilliant little thing. It sits here on my desk all the time, pretty much. I'm very wary about taking these things out. I'll be honest, I'm very petrified of taking these internal battery things out because I've always got a feeling that it's going to die on us when I most need it. Yep, William Dobson, yeah, same with custard, yeah.
Uh-oh. Bad news bears.
Oh, out of ink. See? Wait, just you wait till you start putting labels on your coils. You're going to need even more. Oh, there you go. I'll see where you're going, like, oh. That's it. No more crisps. That's it. Crisps are gone. Well, I was saying we need to start printing labels for all the coils you're going to make and all the go in your little tubs. All the tubs you're going to be buying. Little plastic tubs to put your coils in. There we go. Ah, it's tremendous, that guy. Absolutely tremendous. Ah, I've got some colours for that. Oh. Oh, back in business. Now for the Doritos. That's a good idea.
I got you now.
Oh, sorry, did you lose me again?
I did lose you because I put noise suppression back on your audio feed.
Well, I've stopped eating crisps now. You're all right.
Oh, no, you can eat all you want now.
But then again, William Dobson, he's got Pringles. Ooh. Or Doritos. Ooh. Let's go.
I'm ready for that. My wife will attest to that. You can't bring that into the house. Because once I open the bag, all that's going to be left in there at the end of the day is air.
I made that with Pringles. It's true. The slogan is definitely true. Once you pop, you can't stop. That is definitely the case with me. That tube is empty. Period. You don't save any of them. It's down the hatch. I do like Pringles. They're bloody awesome. I can't remember.
All right, time to try this thing.
What's that you got? What's that? What on earth is that? Looks like a lighter.
That would be
It looks like a
my
lighter.
DNA reference mod
Ah, right.
with a Bushido V3 flip-top dripper on top with the exclusive checkmark airflow system to guarantee no leakage.
Check you out. I mean, very nice. Very nice indeed, sir.
Just drip away, and you can literally see the liquid in the airflow opening.
Ah. Cool.
Definitely get whipped cream, and you definitely get raspberry. On a shake and
Sounded
vape.
good.
My question is, what is this liquid going to be like in a week or in 2 weeks?
Very nice.
You got 24% flavorings in there. There's only 2 flavorings in it. Is it going to rest keeping the same balance it has now?
Yeah, like one maybe becoming a dominant one rather than like a five.
And the nick that you add into here is also going to change this flavor profile in time. As it oxidizes, it's going to become more of a spicy note. And sometimes those spicy notes can literally wipe flavors out of the recipe.
Yeah, I thought, well, like I say, if sweetener has like a creamy type background, it might, get a bit better.
The raspberry is definitely there. It's not overly sweet. That 0.5% in there is just enough to make it a nice sweet note, and the raspberry is sweet inherently as a single flavor. I think this is a banger. If you like raspberry, this is a good shake and vape.
Or like we said, if you want to change it for another fruit flavor, it could work that way as well.
Yeah, but you got to be careful pushing, sweet raspberry at 10%. You get some off notes when you push strawberry too hard.
Oh, God, aye.
Especially certain brands. So you might have to split that up and do like a strawberry ripe and a sweet strawberry at like 5 and 6% to replace the sweet strawberry at 10.
Yeah.
But that has to say at 14, it's a cream you don't have to wait for, a whipped cream.
I'm very surprised that. Like I thought like it might have been a bit of a steeper, but I stand corrected.
Obviously, the cream's going to be even more potent once it steeps a while, but just on the shake, I definitely get whipped cream out of that.
Ah.
Yep, Michael Redfirm, you're right. That's a killer recipe. I am quite impressed with this thing. Razzle My Dazzle.
Yeah, I think Nevins is the guy who does the custard that's actually like a Devon custard, like what we get over here. We get like tins of custards, Devon cream custard. And I believe he's got a recipe that actually tastes like pretty much exactly like that.
I would love to have a Devon cream flavor.
Oh, geez, he's got.
When Chef's closed down, that was one of the things that I wanted to get from them.
Have a look through his recipes. Devon, he's a good mixer. Oh, I can't remember what the hell it was called again. I know where it might be. If I remember correctly, it might be. Where would you think that could be? Where was it on there? Was it on there? Hang on a minute. I might have bookmarked it actually when I had a look.
And here is the proof in the pudding. You know, my biggest concern was whipped cream SSA at 14%. Wow, that really sounds excessive. But here he has the original recipe that this was based off of. Orchard Creamy. Here we have apple gummy candy, Fuji apple, super sweet. Sweetener by Wonder Flavors with stevia and whipped cream at 14%. And he said, don't be scared. I've tested the whipped cream thoroughly and it just works that high. Evans, you are 100% right with that.
Yeah, he's a good mixer. He's a good established mixer, Nevins. He's a good mixer. He's a good juice man.
Fantastic.
That custard creamery under Nevins' recipe. Have a look at that custard creamery. Is that it? Oh no, it's Orchard. He's got a custard that is supposed to be like the Devon one. I can't remember what the hell it's called. I'll have to find out.
Well, it would take quite a while to go through 10 pages of these recipes to find it.
I think I've got a bookmark somewhere, but I'm almost certain I have. But I think is it that Moulin vanilla or something you've got to get. I can't think. Oh, I can't remember it.
See, here's the Devon cream cupcake world.
That's it. I think that's it. Nick Brosier. That's it. That's the one. It's a Devon cream custard. I think it's called Nick Brosier.
That's because they use a Devon cream from Cupcake World in the recipe.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Nick Brosier. That's the one. The thing was what was the other one? It was that Mullenberry.
Andy uses legendary custard by Mullenberry.
Yeah, that was the flavour I was talking about that I was going to ship from Poland or wherever it was, and it was going to cost them like 25 quid for a 10-pound bottle or something. You know what I mean? The shipping was expensive.
Legendary custard by Mullenberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mullenberry is not a cheap flavoring.
No, it wasn't. It was just the shipping, because I'm sure is it from Poland or something like that? Is it somewhere in Europe? I can't remember where it's from.
Kamenovatic is in Poland. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was going to cost something like 25 quid to ship, like, I don't know, a 20ml bottle or something. You know, that cost a tenner of that. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't worth it. That's the one.
But this Devon cream adds something to this recipe that you can't replace with any other cream or custard flavor that's out there.
But that's the one, Nick Brosier. I've been meaning to have a gun of it, but like I say, when I seen that other one that you got to ship from abroad, I went, nah. Oh, Cupcake World. I've actually got a web page or the Facebook based. You get that on Amazon? No way. Oh, it's got to be the flavor.
Unavailable. Currently unavailable. So it's sold on Amazon at one point.
Wow. Anything Amazon doesn't see.
There you go. You can order that Devon cream.
Oh, there you go.
4 pounds for 30 mils.
It's all right. That's cool. I guess, yeah, I think it was that legendary one that was the awkward one to get.
Space Turtle, hello and welcome.
Hi, Space Turtle, how you doing? Yeah, you could say he has, Space Turtle. He's donated some of his beard to mine. Yeah. I was just lagging in that department.
See, free UK delivery.
Yeah. All right, for the Devon, but it's in pounds, so it might be UK based.
It is. It's a .co.uk website.
Yeah.
Worldflavorsonline.co.uk.
That's cool. Very nice. Take care, William. Thanks for dropping by. He's got to bugger off.
I am thoroughly impressed with this recipe. I just can't get over how good it tastes.
Nevins is quite a, he's got quite a good standard in mixing stuff. Like, it's really good. Excuse me.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to look into this after the show and order me some of this, because you can't get Devon cream anywhere else. At least I haven't found it.
Well, it's a UK thing, isn't it? From Devon. I mean, Devon's a UK place or area, whatever you want to call it.
But there are some things that are regionally based that need to go international.
Yeah, definitely.
Devon cream is one of those things that I think should be an internationally recognizable flavor. Well, there's our wonderful recipe for today, a random recipe.
Razzle My Dazzle. There you go. Awesome. And it's got the thumbs up, guys and girls, so there's one for you.
I'm gonna have to try this on a different coil. I'm getting kind of a honey note to this.
Would that be in a possible all-day vape?
I don't know. It does dry your mouth out a little bit, but not like a lot.
Space tells I had to Google it, so it's a clotted cream. Yeah, you could probably say that, because that's what Devon's kind of famous for, is the clotted creams. And the ice creams as well, the vanilla ice cream, they do clotted cream ice creams as well. So that's kind of, where they're kind of famous for.
I just want to stop the show and keep vaping this.
See? Well,
all right.
I'll not take the credit for picking that one. You're quite fine. I'll not take the credit for it.
You can have all the credit you want. I get the one. I'm the one that gets to vape it. You just have to imagine it.
I know. I'm just saying that. I'm going to go here then.
All right.
I'm going to hunt a musk one down for you to do.
Listen, I'll try another musk recipe, but you got to try it too. Tit for tat, my friend.
No. No. Now I know where it comes from. No.
I think you'd love it.
No.
It's a fantastic recipe.
I do not want to taste granny sweat.
It has nothing to do with sweat. Just her perfume.
No, but the smells like it. That's the thing. No.
Just walk into Granny's room, pick up her atomizer, and lick the atomizer.
Oh, no. God. I have nightmares already off that. That
I might get you
image
to
in my
projectile
head.
vomit before the show's over.
Nope, that image has just terrified me. Must be quite honest with you. Oh.
Okay, so before we go any further, this is going to be our lesson. We are going to adjust this to 100%, 100 mils, just so you guys can understand ratios. Drug calculation, okay? Let's say that we are normally a 3 milligram e-liquid user, right? Okay? And when you go to mix up it, if you have 100 milligram strength, that is 100 milligrams per 1 milliliter. That's what the concentration is. If you had 72 milligram concentration, that would mean in 1 milliliter of your secret sauce, there is 72 milligrams of
Secret
our
sauce.
Nick. Okay? It is literally per milliliter. So, if we take and we put 3 milliliters of our secret sauce that is at a strength of 100 milligrams, you are essentially going to be adding 300 milligrams into a 100 ml bottle. And if you continue with the math, 300 divided by 100 equals a concentration of 3 milligrams per milliliter.
Mm-hmm.
And the same would hold true depending on whatever strength you wanted. So if you were a 6 milligram user, you would put 6 mils of secret sauce at 100 milligrams per milliliter into a 100 ml bottle. And that's going to give you 600 milligrams for the entire bottle.
Yeah.
Divided by 100 mils gives you 6 milligrams per milliliter. It gets more confusing though whenever you guys have to deal with different concentrations from different suppliers. Let's say that you only bought a 72 milligram concentration. Okay. Now at 72 milligrams, you're going to put 4.17 in, and that 4.17 is going to bring you to a 3 milligram concentration. But if you do the math, you're still going to come out to the same. So I'm going to wait for my computer to get around to doing what it's doing.
Computer says no.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the formula, 4.17 is going into this bottle, and that is times 72 is the concentration. You're coming out with 300 milligrams for that entire bottle. Just like you did when you put 3 milliliters of 100 milligram into that. You're always going to end up with 300 milligrams for a 3 milligram per milliliter bottle of liquid.
Yeah.
If it's 100 mils in capacity. So fundamental math that, you know, you thought you didn't have to use nowadays because everything is done for you automatically and you have calculators everywhere. Us old schools that, you know, are good with math and do, you know, math in our head all the time can look at this and just go, oh, okay, it's 3 mils. Or for 72 milligram concentration, it's 4 mils. But that's how you figure out how much you need to put in. And then you can verify the math to see it comes out the same.
Yes, your better half has commented, oh, here we go with the math again.
Now, here to talk about our Canadian folk, they're limited to 20 milligram per milliliter is the most that they can buy.
Yeah.
For a 100 ml bottle, they have to put in 15 mils of secret sauce.
Holy moly.
To get to 3 milligram.
Holy moly.
That would ruin a bunch of recipes. Now imagine if you were a 6 milligram DIYer in Canada and all you had access to was 20 milligram per milliliter. You would have to put 30 mils of your secret sauce into a 100 ml bottle to get to 6 milligram.
My God, that flavor's going to be vile, isn't it?
The 20 milligram cap ruins it for DIYers.
Yeah. Well, imagine that one.
And I can't understand why more people don't stand up and get on social media platforms and get on Twitter. And for those people that don't get on technology platforms, write letters to your local newspaper complaining about how this is screwing you and is diverting people back to smoking cigarettes, because it's so much simpler to just stop at the corner store, pick up a pack of fags and a lighter and call it a day.
Without a doubt.
But okay, enough for the soapbox and the math lesson. Sorry about that, folks. We're going to make our splice
educational.
We're going to add our flavoring. And this is SPLICE.
Oh, it's oh, you're in for a treat.
And I'm going to leave it at 16%. That sounds like a good percentage to me. I can always crank up the volume if I need to, and I'm going to make it as a 3 milligram. And I'm not going to make 100 mils of this to get started. I think I'm just going to do a little 30 ml bottle.
You coward.
It's only because I have so many bottles of e-liquid here already. It's not that I'm not going to enjoy it, or I'm not going to want to make 100 mil later. But realistically, I do want to get to these other ones that I have going on that have been single flavor tested, but I never got around to actually doing the review of it. Just my notes along the way. Because the end goal is here not just to make a random recipe, but also for me to actually put reviews up on ELR. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Here's our 30 ml bottle, and here's our lovely one-shot splice. And 16% of this in a 30 ml bottle is going to be 4.8.
Which one have you got? Where's mine at again? Just while we're on it, the other one I made up was the this is the boysenberry cheesecake. I made that one up.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh. That's all I want to say is oh. Ooh. And another ooh, or just for tops. I did make a small one of the splices first, just to like see, because obviously I didn't like know the profile. You know, I never looked it up or anything. I just says, now we'll go with it. We'll go with it blind, have a taste with blind, see what you think. Enjoyed it. And I went right, make another bottle, and I made a bigger bottle of it.
So why don't you tell me what you think the flavor impression is of it? What is the profile, or what is it comparable to?
It is like what we have here in the UK is called what we call a Mivvi ice lolly. That's MIVVI. All right. Basically, where the center of the lolly is all ice cream, and it's got like a nice coating of whatever flavor. You can get orange mibbies, you can get blackcurrant mibbies, and basically you get that burst of whatever the fruit flavor is with the taste of the vanilla ice cream. That is what that is.
You remember last week we did the creaming soda?
Yeah. That's the one, yeah.
That is not a cream soda like what you would expect a cream soda to taste like here in the States. It is
That's
not
cola.
like a...
That's a cola,
Yeah,
cream
but
and cola.
this
I've got
isn't
you.
a cream and cola recipe. This is more like old school fountain made drink where you have the float on top, the ice cream float, but
Yeah.
this isn't a cola base to it. It's more of a, like when I went to Hungary, they would take Malna or raspberry like jam, like a syrup made from the
Yeah.
raspberries, and you would put that into a glass, and then you would put seltzer water in there to create a seltzered pop.
Yeah, got you, yeah.
This is more of that than it is a creamed soda. Yeah, there is kind of a slight cola aspect to it. It's more about the seltzer experience on your tongue, but the underlying note is a fruit note to this.
I mean,
Not
that SPLICE, they-
Ice cream
it's
float,
got the,
a cola float.
It's got the fruit, yeah, but that SPLICE has got the fruit, but it's not bang, really big. They've got the balance nice, and there is a little bit of coolant in it, like just for obviously to simulate the ice cream. Not a lot, a little bit.
Yeah.
But
So I
you're
get
getting
this.
that-
I mean, it's a great flavor, but it is not like a traditional cream soda like we have here in the States.
No, that like I say, a cream soda. Like I say, it's probably the same here. It's totally different to what people think it is, type of thing. I mean, we
Like
actually
here's
said
the more
there's a company here from the pub of like a pub bar, and theirs is actually called American Cream Soda. That's what they actually call it.
Yeah, because it probably tastes like a cream soda. Here, the traditional beverage of choice, especially from the original origins of the old soda jerks that used to make these drinks,
Yeah,
is a root beer float.
yeah,
Because you would have a root beer soda, and on top of that, you would have a scoop of ice cream.
got you.
So this is
Well, I
along the
think
same
if you-
lines, but instead of a root beer pop, you have basically like a, I don't want to say it's raspberry. It's more like a fruit syrup that they use to make
Yeah.
the soda, the pop.
I don't think you'd be disappointed with that. Like, I mean, it does taste better after it's been left a day or two. That's all I'm going to say on that. Like,
All e-liquids are like
Yeah.
that.
it's but I think you still kind of get the gist of it of a shaking vape. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I really was. I like your shit.
My wife got me that.
Well, it's a message, boys and girls. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There you go. What can we say? You don't have to say it. He wears it.
I can't get over how much of a honey aspect I'm getting from this.
Honey.
The residual flavor on my tongue is a honey.
Really?
It's not a raspberry cream. Wow.
Interesting. Still nice though, isn't it?
Kind of makes me want to take some of those raspberry and that whipped cream and mix up a 3-to-2 bottle, a 10 ml bottle of just that. Leave it sit there and come back to it and see if it is a honey flavor.
Mm.
Honey is somewhere from between 65 and 80% sugar anyway.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's nice. That's the aim of the game, is it not?
It's very nice. Very pleasant. Not overly sweet. It does give you that initial sweetness kick, but it's not like lingering, candy. I'm going to take this one that we just mixed up, and I'm going to drip it right on this thing.
Oh, battery's dying on that. Damn. That's a shame. But my charger is just here, so we bear with us.
I'm going to pull away and try this with this other flavoring.
There you go. Put him on charger in the background. My apologies for showing my big fat arse on camera.
Wow, that is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of expecting like a Sprite. It is not a Sprite.
No. It's an ice cream lolly.
It's an ice cream, yeah. Like the picture.
So cool, isn't it?
But I can't identify like the underlying fruit. It's not like
It's
not a
not
lime. It's not a
fruits.
lemon. It's
Well, I'll describe what mine is. Mine is pineapple with a hint of lime.
I kind of get what you're saying about pineapple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've never tried a pineapple and lime together.
It does kind of. You kind of get a bit more of it when it's had a day or two, if you know what I mean. But it's like I said, the fruit is not massively overpowering. You know, you've still got that lovely vanilla aftertaste. You know, when you exhale, it's lovely. That's why I've got it sitting inside my Arbiter 2.
Wow, what a change of pace.
And there's a bit of, are you getting the slight bit of coolant as well? Because I think that come in a bit more when you left it to stand.
No, I'm not getting any cooling.
Yeah. It's not, it's honestly, it's more like a background. It's very slight. But the vanilla off it, it's tremendous, that note of vanilla.
It's not like a traditional cooling sensation, though. It's kind of
Yeah.
part of the flavor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not, it's only...
It's not like
not
a
like
menthol
crisp,
note. It's not like
No.
a
ice.
WS-23 where it gives you that whole icy mouth feel
Yeah,
or
it's not like
cooling
an ice,
sensation.
It's just, I don't know, it's like I say, it could be within the flavouring, but it's just very slight, isn't it? You just, and that's what gives you that little hit on the back of your throat.
Wow.
It's awesome, isn't it?
That is truly an all-day vape flavor.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because it's so curious. There's so much curiosity to it. It's like...
Exactly.
And then once you get past that whole, I got to figure out what this flavor is, it's just like, I could sit here and just enjoy it.
Yeah. Me too. I do. Wonderful taste.
You know, it's even better. the fact that I didn't put this on a brand new coil and I have that underlying raspberry and whipped cream in here.
You know what it is, man. Behind the spanner in the works again, he is. Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed by it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Absolutely delicious.
That is an absolutely delicious flavor.
Another one of Flavrz. Another one of Flavrz flavors. He's absolutely hitting the nail on the head with everything I've tried up to now. He's absolutely bang on.
I can't get over it.
So when Darren wakes up, we'll say hi to him. Hello, matey. Watch on the replay. Hello, wiggy wiggy, rise and shine.
He did send me an email. Somebody is going to be doing single flavor testing besides me. Matter of fact, if you join ELR's forum, apparently they've created a section where he's literally going to single flavor test everything for them.
He's, like I say, that he said that ELR have actually reached out to him to do that.
Yeah.
Which is kudos to you, mate. Nice to see you getting a bit of recognition.
Yeah, that's something I never got onto is joining the forum at ELR. I'm on their Facebook group and obviously I have the account on there for the recipes, but
is the forum like an invite only, or can you just jump on?
You could go to,
because some of them are invite only, some of them. Yeah.
And you just click on the forum.
And you're in.
And there's the forum.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's like, for me, I mean, I've got so many stuff going on and so many different things. I mean, I feel bad because the Discord server really hasn't gotten much attention or love. You know, somebody puts a message up or Mallory posts a new article or something, you know, I'll get that notification, I'll read it and I'll reply to it, but I really haven't contributed much to it. And I kind of feel bad because there's a couple things I definitely want to put on there. I definitely want to put on there the current list of where you can get secret sauce at. My last purchase was from Nick Base. Never used them before, and got obviously a quality Delosi Nick salt, or salt Nick, however you want to say it. So
that's
fantastic.
Take a bit of time, you know. It takes a little bit of time, man, to get that stuff. You know, it's huge, man. Discord, you know, it takes a time to get stuff built up, man.
Especially when you're like me and you like thought things through ahead of time, so you wouldn't have to like change stuff later on. So like I got so many different channels on the Discord, so that whatever the topic is you want to talk about on there, feel free to talk about it, because there is a channel you can post whatever you want on. There's one for music, there's one for other hobbies, there's one for, you know, your daily, hey, how you doing kind of messaging, or, you know, your jokes or whatever.
Exactly.
So,
like I say, guys and girls, pop on over, man. Pop on over. Be pleased to hear from you. Beep, beep, beep.
I have somebody at the door.
Who's that? That's an Alexa, that.
So, Kenny's going to take over the show once again.
Again. Left to me again, boys and girls. Right, let's have a look. We'll have a look in chat, eh? Shall we have a quick look in chat, see what's going on. Back in the calls. Dopo X across pump squonker. Been using it with my Thunderhead Creations Artemis V1.5 RDTA for a couple of weeks, and I'm loving it. Works like a dream. Keep it 100% Y Blast flavor. Yum. And a big yum underneath. Space Turtles obviously popped in. You can get 100% VG 20 milligram Nick shots. Are you in Canada, sir? I was just wondering. I'm sure you are. Dusty Country Road. Have you ever put one drop of extreme freeze or coolant in a 5 ml tank or solution? Would that be too much? I think it's down to your taste. You might have to simply try it, just try it. It's down to your taste, if it's too much, it's too much. It's something I don't use personally. But
if you don't use cooling on a regular basis, that would be pretty excessive.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Like I said, it's not something.
You got like somebody like Dimitri, he uses cooling and everything.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that like that stuff, just pure coolant and everything. They can't vape without it being a coolant in it. But it's not something I'd like reach out for all the time. I'm not really a huge fan of it if there's too much of it in. A small amount I can get away with. But some guys who get brain freeze off it and all that, you're like, no. That's a no.
I was a menthol smoker and I have no cravings for cooling sensation. Other than like my candy cane, because I like that pepperminty aspect to it. But
that was all right, that. I've still got some of that somewhere. I don't know where it is. I think that's what my wife's got now. I think she's nicked it to me candy cane.
That SPLICE, I just can't get over it. It's a unique flavor of its own. I get that there's the pineapple aspect of it. I get that there's like a lemon lime kind of citrusy thing. I kind of get where you're coming from with the cooling aspect of it, but it's not a traditional separate cooling feature to the flavor.
Yeah. It's a weird one, isn't it?
For how hot this dripper is, because I keep going back to it. That vape has that subtle cool aspect of it. Yeah. And it's not like a cooling sensation you would get like from some of these disposables that we've had. Those are distinct cooling. It's definitely a cooling is a feature of that flavor.
Yeah.
This is like a hidden aspect of that flavor.
I'm sad I don't know how he done it without actually using cooling. Or has he? You don't know.
There might be some in there. A lot of the recipes that I've seen has it in there, 0.2, 0.4, or something like that.
Yeah, small amount.
Percent, not actual milliliters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's. I had a feeling you would like that one. I mean.
Yeah, and there's so many different flavors here. I'm really looking forward to the day when I get all this stuff ironed out and I can just literally sit down and then schedule a stream every other day during the week and have specific content for each of them. And I'm really looking forward to getting on the Coiler on the Twitch to single flavor test all of these flavors. And do a heads up side by side comparison. Okay, what is it from Capella apple and double apple and green apple, and the same thing from Flavrz. I want to do all the apples and get them all out of the way.
Yeah. Just to see the difference between each manufacturer type of thing, yeah.
And what is the difference in the flavor compared to what is the percentage? Like this one needs to be at 6% before you get something comparable to this one at 3%. And obviously they're going to be a little unique, but which is true to what it's like if you grab an apple and bite into it? What aspects of that flavor are missing in these flavors that you have to augment with other flavors?
Yeah. Yeah, it's food for thought.
It's a massive learning curve. I know it is. But you know what? I want to commit the time to know this stuff inside and out. Like you learn a language. We all are capable of learning another language, and you first pick up your basic conversational language. And then as time goes on and you start to read more and you learn more and you speak more, then you start to learn the intricacies and the differences between certain words, that this word has this connotative meaning and this word has this connotative meaning, even though they're talking about the same thing.
There's also like there's the slang as well. There's various slangs that come into the languages as well. Regional slangs. It's yeah, it's a journey, my friend, a journey.
Yes.
But when you think of it, is it a journey that you'll ever find an end to? Because flavors are just long.
I don't think so. But this is something that I truly want to be good at because, maybe one day I would like to, be able to sell my own liquids commercially. Or at least just my flavor line. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If I can come up with combinations that nobody else has done before, you know me, I don't like doing reviews of products that already have dozens of reviews out there.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to be telling you something completely different, why add to the noise that's out there? But
I get where you come from with that. Like, I kind of agree with that.
I mean, if I find something that's total crap and like I want to tell everybody about it, then I'm going to do a video on it. Or if I find something that's truly fantastic and is like an all-day vape-worthy device, like this, the best smoke mod ever put out, the Arc Fox.
Yep.
I mean, they nailed everything on this.
Got mine there as well. Absolutely love it.
You know, simple, easy to read screen. It's on the side.
Yeah. I find I'm picking that up more than whenever.
Yeah, same here. It's something that has never left my desk since I did the review on it. I don't have a TFV18 on here because you plow through juice, you plow through coils, but this is a fantastic mod. I would buy the kit just for this.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. At the moment, it's like I say, it's my go-to device. I take it out and about with it as well because obviously, you know, it's got all the padding and stuff on it. It's awesome. I like it.
And for me, you have Splice in your Arbiter. I have the Golden Heart Starter in my Arbiter. This is a fantastic coffee. It's that simple.
I did get Darren did drop us an email. I don't know if he dropped you one as well about some of the stuff that he's been. You see, I think he sent the email. He actually hasn't even tried that. He says he just mixed it. And
he just threw the recipe out there. I love it. Yeah. Because, you know, unlike these other ones where you have as a coffee, you know, recipes, they always go into extremely pushing like the creamy notes and then the other subtle cues and the vanilla and this or this. This one, it's like a morning cup of coffee. You know, it's just a straight up coffee. Maybe you put a little bit of milk in it. And there's the nuances of a really good coffee that you can get and taste in here. It's just a beautiful balance to counteract like the sweet aspects of like this one.
Definitely. Well, I mean, like I said, take me hat off to him. Like I say, everything I've tried by Flavrz has been pretty much exactly what it says on the tin. I'm not, honestly, totally impressed. Well impressed with you.
I'm really glad that Pam liked that juice, the flavor shock that I sent her.
Yeah.
Because I never tried that flavor.
There you go. But yep, definitely a good. He's definitely a good maker, good juice maker. Can't knock him.
I never thought I would reach the day when I am so content with all aspects of vaping. I totally have a grasp of it all now, and I'm no expert mixer. I'm no expert coil maker, but I know that my wife and I will never go back to smoking cigarettes.
Nah, me neither.
We have what we need for the rest of our lives.
Not with what's available now. The choice is just so huge, from right across the board, from devices to hardware to juices. It's huge. You know, it's the choice is massive. And you can guarantee there'll be something that'll cater for every type of smoker or ex-smoker. There'll be something out there that will cater your needs. It's just huge. It's like a void.
Yep. And now that I have the power to actually make my own coils right from bare wire, I'm completely self-sufficient now.
Yeah.
I have no need for anybody else.
You only need to get your raw materials. That is it.
I've already got that.
Exactly.
One of the first things that I bought.
Lots of wire. I like it.
And I've got this in stainless steel, I've got this in Canthal, and I've got this in Nitro.
I like stainless steel and drippers. I think it's just made to go and drip a stainless steel. Just for the ramp. It's just purely the ramp. It ramps up very quick.
And that's the reason why I know everybody's like, oh, you don't need, that's the one advantage that people say this is. There's no temp control. It's just straight up wattage. It's for easy that anybody that, you know, is no longer a beginner, but wants to chuck clouds because that's what makes them happy. That's what satisfies them.
Yeah.
This is what you want. No, you should have temp control in this locked away so that if you need temp control one day, you can just go in here, go into the menu, unlock it, and now be able to use it yourself.
Yeah.
Because when I did the review for the RBA on this, yes, the coils that came with it worked okay. They're not as good as the stock coil. But when I replaced the dual coils that came in the RBA and put in a single stainless steel coil at 4 millimeters, I was just as good as the stock coil. And I could replicate that every single day when I put it in temp control.
Wow.
Because I can push that coil to its boundary, to its limit, and it's always a consistent vape, consistent temperature, consistent output. And I also protect the coil because when it runs out of juice, temperature control won't fire that.
Yeah, it protects your lungs as well because you don't get a fucking dry hit of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beauty of temp control.
It's like everything else nowadays. It's like, you know, they have phones. The phones nowadays have all the same basic hardware inside them. But they control how many features are in there based upon, like my wife's Samsung Galaxy S22 or whatever. The same board that's in there is the same board that's in the lower model of that phone, and the same board that they put into the model that they sell for the month-to-month cell phone people. But the one that they buy and they pay cell phone bills month to month have 3/4 of the features in that phone disabled.
Yeah.
And you don't ever see it because you don't know that it's there.
True.
But the hardware is capable of doing it.
It's true because, like you see, you've got your camera in your phone, and your whatever your phone runs that camera. But you know, you can get apps like, for example, Filmic Pro. You can get that actually unlocks all the features of your camera. You know, you can use it like a professional camera. You can set exposure, you can set ISO, you can, you know, there's a lot of features locked away within the device itself, isn't it?
And now I have a mystery going on all the time around here.
Oh,
I make all these juices every single week, and I put it onto a dripper, and I forget which one I did on what. And then you go to take a drag of that and go, boy, that's really good. I'd love to have that later on today.
Where would I put it? Or what is it?
I'm like, oh, that's got to be Terror Bird. We made that Terror Bird. I'm like, I just tasted it. It's not the same flavor. What freaking flavor did I put on that dripper?
Yeah. What was it? Shit. We're going to have to watch the reruns. Howdy do. My God.
You can truly
Awesome
empower
stuff.
anybody to never smoke again by showing them how to do this kind of stuff.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Wow.
Space Teller One has suggested putting post-it notes on your drippers.
I know it can be a
That'll be a lot of
pain in
notes.
the ass sometimes. You know why I always take a break to make a label for the bottles. But here's the perfect example. I started the process of putting a label on this one, but I forgot to, when it gives you the pop-up window, when I tell it to print, and they're like, you sure you want to print? Is this the printer you want to print to?
Definitely, yeah.
Just freaking print the damn thing. My Alzheimer's mind is going to forget what the hell I did 5 minutes ago and never put this on this.
On the
And
bottle.
it's going to be sitting around here like this bottle and go, I wonder what flavor that is. I don't remember what we made that.
Well, I suppose you can tell by the color if it's something you made a while ago.
To some degree, yes and no. I mean, some of the recipes that we make never really get much darker than that bottle right there.
Yeah, true enough. It's true enough. Depends on what it's in, isn't it?
And that brings us to our retro e-liquid, this Peach Passion. And I'm going to pull a Wayne and use the same dripper to try it out on. Look at that color. Look how dark that one is.
So I'm saying, it looks like oil, engine oil. Oh God, you are not going to taste it after that, are you?
It's beautiful peach. It's very juicy. Tastes like biting into a fresh, no, not so fresh, a ripe peach at the end of summer. One that was plucked from the tree and then sat on the table for a day or two and started to soften just a hair. That's what that tastes like. Curious to see what a vape's like. I did find a problem with this and a way to make this thing leak.
Oh.
If the deck is flooded and you put your finger on the drip tip, the O-ring seals first, and you can get it to spit.
Yeah.
Because you're pressurizing it.
Yeah. That doesn't help us.
Holy shit. No way.
Is that actually still good?
Not only is it good, but because I put it on here, the peach brought out the cream and amplified it like 10 times. This is a beautiful bowl of peaches and cream. Oh, wow, that is fantastic. I was hesitant because of how dark this liquid is.
Yeah, it looked pretty dark.
But it tastes fantastic.
How old was that? How long you had that?
It was before COVID, so it's been at least 3 years.
Oh, Jesus. That's what you call a steep time.
Yeah, I found Awesometown shortly after we started vaping. And I bought a bunch of their stuff. And it was one of their sales that they had going on Memorial Day or something like that. And it was a ridiculous saving. So I'm like, I'm going to order a bunch of different flavors, just a single bottle of each, to try them all out and see which flavor I actually like and which ones I don't like. Especially because my wife likes things that I don't like and I like things that she doesn't like. And there's some things that we both don't like and there's some things that we both love.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? The only way to find out for ourselves if this is any good or not is to buy it and try it.
Why not? Yeah, I'm very surprised. I think if it's been that long and it still tastes good.
It tastes better than it did originally.
Really?
Because I did open up a bottle of this before, and the passion, the peach was like really potent, and it didn't have any of this cream aspect to it at all. It was like a juicy peach, but it gave you that astringent thing that you can get with peach because it's got too much malic acid in the recipe.
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
But that's something that if you let it sit for a while, I didn't plan on letting it sit 3 years.
Well,
that's something if you let it sit for a while, it can be subdued.
Yeah. 3 years is quite a steep time, I'll give you that.
But this is a bottle that is not going in the bin. This is something that's going to stay on my desk, and I'm going to finish this bottle off.
We'll go for it. Why not?
Especially not the SPLICE. Especially with this Razzle Dazzle.
Bit of a mixture, isn't it? See, you've got that Razzle
SSA
Dazzle.
whipped cream at 14% is fantastic.
So I'm saying you could probably use your little Razzle Dazzle now as a base and just drip on the top, and there you just got whatever you're gonna get. It's gonna be creamy.
I could take this, put this into a 120 ml bottle, add 14% of SSA whipped cream to this, and it's a beautiful peach bowl of peaches and cream. Mm-hmm.
So surprisingly, the amount of cream that's in there, it works pretty much.
It does.
Wow.
I am really, really surprised about that. A lot of Darren's recipes are really high in percentage, and I don't like to push that much flavor in there, but for some things it works. Some things you need to push the flavoring percentage that high. And then there's other ones like the freaking Wonder flavors. You know, sometimes 1% is way too much.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Like you said, it's a never-ending learning process.
It isn't, man.
Infinite combinations.
Even for well-established mixers and that, they must learn. You learn something new every day. You've got to be.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody's coming out with something different all the time. Like you say, you might know, well, the recipe's in Gan. You might know a spice recipe in Gan. That cannot work. Can it work? And then you're gone, oh, well, try it. And then, boom, it works.
Yeah, serendipity strikes and you have a pleasant surprise you weren't even expecting.
Yeah.
And this isn't exclusive to DIY mixing or DIY vape. I went down and did a service call the other day working on arcade machines, which I don't do that often, but the monitor's dead in there, so I got to rebuild the monitor that's in it, an old school CRT monitor. And normally these things have, like metal platforms that they rest on, and there's slots for them to be mounted using toggle bolts.
Yeah.
Like decent sized toggle bolts. Well, the last time that it was worked on or replaced, they didn't bother putting those toggle bolts back in. They used 2 drywall screws, because in the corner of the bracket, there's a little tiny hole that's the perfect size for a drywall screw. They literally just put 2 drywall screws in there to hold the monitor in place.
My God. I mean, the old CRT mums were pretty heavy units as well, weren't they?
Yes, very heavy.
Right.
But it worked. You see things you never expected to see, and you always find things that you never expect to find.
Exactly.
Regardless of what.
There's nothing worse than working after somebody who's made so many, shall we say, shortcuts. It's a nightmare.
Yes.
Because you've literally got to undo everything they've done and basically start fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
It's an absolute nightmare when you have to recap a board, a circuit board, and it's already been recapped by somebody that didn't have really good soldering skills. And a lot of the traces are already like superheated so that they're already separating from the plastic board.
The board, yeah.
Yeah, and then you go and you do your recap kit and you end up having to take, bits of wire, strand it up and, cover it with solder and then solder that onto there to reinforce the end of that leg.
Yeah. Yeah. Fixing other people's shit. It's a nightmare. Absolute
but we were
nightmare.
all beginners one day.
Oh, of course.
All of us eventually learn how to do it the right way. We stick with things long enough. So can't look down on that just because somebody did it as a beginner.
I knew a guy who didn't change his brake pads as pairs. He'd done them individually. He just thought, that side's all right. I'll just put new ones on that side. And he did that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And
yeah,
sure
because
enough, when he braked, it was pulling all over the fucking road.
Especially because if one side is completely worn away and the other one isn't, that means you've got a stuck caliper.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like you've got to do them in pairs. That's the point. Crazy, man. He learned the hard way, so as we all do at some point.
When he goes to stop one day, and in the winter, and he finds himself doing 360s because the one wheel locked up while the other one was not doing anything.
It was nuts. I had to go of it. If you braked, it tried to literally rip that steering wheel out of your hand and pull you over. It was, I says, you can't drive that like that. You're going to kill somebody, including yourself, probably. Well, it's surprising, like you see what people do. You're like, what are you thinking? What is going through your mind when you do that?
There's a lot of Jimmy mechanics out there.
Oh, yeah. I know me. I can do bits, but I know me limitations. I know when to say, I ain't touching that. I kind of know me limitations. Especially this day and age, cars with all electronics on. The days of the DIY mechanic are slowly decreasing.
That's one of the advantages of Fords. My dad worked at the engine plant in Cleveland, and I've always been a Ford guy. So one of the things that they came out, because I always worked on my own vehicles and insisted on it, because there's been a couple times where I've taken my vehicle to the shop and they do things half-assed to get it out the door. Meanwhile, they charge you an arm and a leg to do the job that you could have done yourself for peanuts,
Definitely.
So I've dedicated to doing it myself. And the fact that things are more computerized is actually a good thing, because there's an app you can buy for your phone. You can have a computer reader that plugs into your thing, connects Bluetooth to your phone, and you can literally read the Ford codes like the Ford dealerships read. It tells you exactly what sensor triggered the error and a list of what possible causes there are for that sensor to be off that much.
It's them ODB plugs, one of the fitting your ODB plug onto your dash or wherever it may be, and you've got. I think I've got one of them kicking about somewhere.
Yep. And 4Scan is the software that I used. I originally bought the laptop version of it, and I had a USB cable that plugged into the ODB connection. Then I bought the Bluetooth one that works with my phone, so I don't even need a laptop anymore.
That's brilliant. Just technology in it. It's just getting crazy.
It's fantastic. The Windstar van, the service check engine light used to come on all the time. And I'm like, what's going on with this? And then it told me that it's the O2 sensor, and it told me exactly which sensor it was. And I went and I looked at the sensor, and I'm like, oh, it's wet. Why is it wet? Let's look right above it. Oh, that's where the power steering pump is. Power steering pump really isn't leaking fluid, but there is just enough of a leak and just slow enough of a leak that it saturated the plug for the O2 sensor. So I disconnected that, sprayed it with contact cleaner. I took and I put a rebuilt pump back on there to get rid of the leak altogether. And it didn't cost me anything but that remanufactured pump. Most people would go, oh, it's an O2 sensor. There's an OBD code for an O2 sensor. I'll spend $50, put a new O2 sensor, and we'll be good to go. Well, if you did that 6 months down the road, you'd still get a freaking code that the O2 sensor was bad. Because it wasn't the sensor that was bad.
The O2 sensors are not cheap over here. Some of them cost more than the bloody exhaust. I mean, I think my wife, what she had? Was it a? It was a. I think it was a Renault Clio, and the sensor on the front pipe coming off the manifold was 90 quid for that one sensor. 90 quid. I went, the car's not worth that.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for us, they're a lot cheaper than that, especially now that they're being sold on Amazon.
Yeah.
The auto parts shop used to have a curtail on the situation because they were the only places you could buy them, and they all were in cahoots with each other, for lack of a better term. They were charging $90 for a part that they bought for $20. And then along comes Amazon, and somebody decides to buy a pallet of O2 sensors and sells them for $25 a piece.
It's kind of same. It's the same with these exhaust sensors as well. Your quick fits and all that stuff, right? They kind of say it. You go in, say, you send a fucking silencer or muffler, what you call blown, Instead of them just saying, right, we can get that centerpiece, they tell you now to buy the complete, they say they buy the complete exhaust now in kits, and that's the way they fit them. Fuck you know what I mean?
No.
Then you can go to an auto parts place and order that one part for a fraction of the price. But they're trying to say it now that they're buying the complete exhaust in kits, and that's how they fit them. So whatever part your exhaust, if everything other part of the exhaust is fine, they're quite happy to replace the whole thing. Really?
Yeah, no thank you. When the exhaust muffler went bad on the van, I had a choice of buying, an exact replacement muffler, which was like $150, or I could buy a generic muffler for $25 and a little piece of pipe that was a foot long. And I literally cut the pipe here. I cut the pipe here. I welded on the brackets so that it would hang from the normal hangers. And I got the job done for $40.
Exactly.
And it was better than if I would have bought the whole muffler, because I still would have had to deal with that end pipe being bad and not replacing the whole tail section of it. The rest of the pipe was fine. Just where the muffler was, that end was bad.
There's one way you could maybe save money in the long run. It's probably an expensive layout to start with, but it would save you a fortune. Yes, just buy a stainless steel system. It'll last you forever.
And here's the proof.
Much.
The federal government in the United States made it mandatory for auto manufacturers to have the catalytic converter part of the pipe never go bad.
Yeah.
The car will rust away to nothing, and that pipe will still be good where the catalytic converter is at. You mean to tell me that they couldn't make the entire exhaust system out of that same type of standard?
Exactly.
And you'd never have to replace it?
It's normally stainless steel, but then again, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to go back for exhaust then, are you? So you're going to lose money.
Would have cost them an extra $50 when they made the car to make it a lifetime guaranteed muffler exhaust system from engine all the way to the tailpipe. But they're not going to do that.
Well, no, because they wanted to break, so you go back to them and buy new ones. That's the way it works. Oh, it's a big con. Life's a big con.
Unless you have the mindset to do your own. Always find a way to do it yourself.
There's that as well. There is that.
And you learn how to do it,
that.
you learn how to fix it right, and you can fix it better than the shop is, and it's going to be cheaper than what they would have charged you, even if you have to buy all the specialty tools to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with DIY, you see. DIY liquids. Make your own. You don't need to rely on anybody else. Rock and roll. And you can make
sure,
it
you have the initial
outlay
outlay of buying all the flavors and buying all the supplies and getting the scale and getting the bottles and getting the inventory. But you know what? I don't have to buy anything else the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Unless there's a new flavor that I want to try or I want to add to the collection.
In the long run, they pay for themselves or they save you a shitload of money. Either way, it's a win-win situation, isn't it?
Especially when you consider that to smoking.
Yeah, and plus, it's the same when it comes to vaping. You may have an outlay to initially buy your device or whatever, but that device is going to save you a fortune on what you would spend on cigarettes. It's a win-win. Win-win-win-win.
Not counting the cameras and the YouTube stuff to make this channel, if I simply looked at the fact of me being an ex-smoker and buying all this stuff, I still have spent less than I would have if I continued to smoke the way I used to.
Easy. No doubt.
Not even factoring the potential health costs down the road.
Easy peasy. If I work it out, 40 times a day at the current price. The cheapest cigarettes here now are about 11 quid. So 40 times that was 22. That'd be 22 quid a day I would have been spending now if I was smoking. 22 quid a day. That's what, 140 quid a week? 140, nearly 150 quid a week. Nearly £600 a month you'd be spending on cigarettes.
Between my wife and I, it was easily $30 a day.
Spending £600 a month, you could probably pay a mortgage for that. You could buy a house and pay a mortgage for about that same amount.
My wife and I easily spent over $10,000 a year on cigarettes.
Without a doubt.
3 years of not smoking is $30,000 we would have spent.
Like I say, them figures I've given you, you could probably double them because my wife also smoked as well. So, like I say, when there's two of you smoking, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
When I was doing my service call yesterday, I talked with a guy I haven't seen in 3 years now, since before COVID. And there he was sitting at the bar, drinking his beer. And this guy only smokes when he's at the bar drinking. Outside of the bar, you'll never see him smoking cigarettes. He's like, you still on with that vaping stuff? How's the YouTube channel going? You know, do you make any money on it yet? I'm like, well, technically I am, but the way YouTube system is set up, you know, they don't pay you until you hit $100.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm technically making money on YouTube now. But the real savings isn't from that. The real savings is because I'm not buying cigarettes like you are.
Mm-hmm.
For what you buy when you go to the bar one day, I can vape for a whole month. And I was a chain smoker.
Exactly, yeah.
On Fridays when I was working doing payroll at the club and then DJ'd that night and coming home 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 packs a day on a Friday.
Oh, I bet
Couldn't
now.
breathe on Saturday, but that's what I smoked every week.
But that's again, you know, that's your dailies. Like you say, if you went out or a night out somewhere, like you're on the drink or something, then you know you get tenfold whatever you were smoking because you just smoke more and more and more. Especially when you're socializing, you're social smoking, and you're literally eating them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you leave one sitting in the ashtray here, and then somebody talks to you from behind you, so you go walk over to their table and you have a conversation with them. You light another one up while you're standing there talking to them.
Yeah.
You know, you finish that one off, and you come back to the bar, and this one's burned away, so you got to light another one.
We've all done that.
You can keep it. I don't want it anymore. I'm happy with my vaping. Plus, I get all these wonderful flavors.
I should be like that with my drinks. I'd leave me drink on the table, go over to the other one. Oh, do you want a drink while I'll have a drink while you're here. Get the one drink. Come back and I go, oh, I've drunk off that. Right, I have to go to the bar now. Get another drink. Works the same. Same philosophy. Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you the things we do. The things we do, mate. Or did.
But we're all having a good time now. We all enjoy our different variety of flavors that we have. It takes a while to get over that fact that, you know, when you first start, you know, vaping and you get over the fact that you're not smoking anymore, you find yourself an all-day vape. You don't want nothing else. You're content.
Yeah.
And you try a bunch of different things and nothing really is satisfying like your all-day vape. You will eventually get to the point where you can find there's literally dozens of flavors you can do as an all-day vape.
Oh, that was one of them. Like I say, once I found a juice or whatever I liked, I swore by it. I never changed it. I kept going and going and going with it because I knew it was a safe bet. I knew it was something that wouldn't get wasted. I knew it was something I would use and enjoy. But you get a bit blinkered though on that when you go down there. You know what I mean? You think I'm just going to stick with what I know, but you know when you open your eyes a bit more, you realise there's much more out there. You've got to give it a go.
Decades of smoking teaches you that, though. When you were a smoker, you always bought the same brand every freaking day that you went and bought.
Definitely. Always. Yeah.
You know, somebody put out a new coupon or a new brand that came out, and they said, we'll give you this one. It'll cost you like $2 after the coupon. Just try it out. You try it, you'd go back to your regular brand. Very rarely would you actually switch brands.
I think you'd only buy a different brand if the shop had actually ran out of the brand you normally have. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, well, give us them ones. Then we'll do it to get some more in.
And now here we are. Once we've gotten past this whole hurdle and we found that there's dozens of all-day vapes that we can enjoy, now it's like, I don't want the same one all the time anymore. I want to try new stuff.
Yeah. Definitely.
How many more can I find that I could literally vape? There's my all-day vape. If I got it secluded on a beach for the rest of my life and I only had, you know, one flavor to choose from.
What would that be? Wow. You'd be
I
lost
don't know
when you'd be
anymore.
like, well, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that, like, oh.
I used to have an answer for that question. I don't anymore. I've got dozens of ones that I can make now that fantastic.
Quite happily vape all day. It's as simple as that, yeah. Strange, isn't it? But it's a nice place to be, you know, the choice you've got and all that. It's just a fantastic place to be, definitely.
All right, I got a problem here. I just realized we've been talking like a bunch of old ladies again.
Oh.
And we have yet to do a single retro vape. So, how about I roll the retro vape bumper and go grab those things?
Right, you roll it, I'm going to go to the loo.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Vandy Vape decided to create the maze, and some other company decided that they were going to make the aftermath Mech mod. This is a tube mech. Beautiful brass finish. And since it hasn't been touched and there's no fingerprints on it, there's absolutely no decay or corrosion whatsoever. So we're going to put this one off to the side and focus on the maze, because this Vandy Vape maze, gotta watch the barcode, is very unique in its deck. See you later, Dusty Country Road. Sorry we're running long today. So there we have the maze. On the surface, this doesn't look any different than any other dripper. We have ourselves a beautiful top cap, airflow from multiple directions. We have our protective coating on the bottom to make sure it doesn't scratch up our device. You can see that that's a squonk pin. But the real magic is that right there. There is our build deck. That's a dripper, ladies and gentlemen. Here's our standard chuff cap. And now you completely understand why there are 5 openings, 5 groups of openings all the way around. No worries, mate.
Come on, baby, connect. Thank you.
Look at this chuff cap. Ready?
Oh, cool.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Fuck.
5 sets of openings for
Holy
airflow.
shit, that's going to be like breathing through an aqualung.
And they're all aimed downward. Are you ready to see this deck?
Come on. Eh?
It's the
maze,
Vandy Vape
right.
maze. It's
Okay,
literally a maze. And there's wicking underneath the maze.
Holy shit, not cool.
Have you ever seen
Sorry,
anything
on the
like this
way-
before?
Nah. Sorry, but on the way back, I side swerved through the kitchen, grabbed a slice of pizza.
No worries.
I just got a whiff. I went, "Ooh, what's that?" Grab.
Here's the spare coil.
So, is that how thin you are?
Yeah. That's the coil for the Vandy Vape Maze. And it literally screws on. There you go.
Holy moly. It's like a watch battery.
Yeah, about the same size as the watch battery. 0.2 ohms, 50 to 100 watts, best 70 to 80 watts.
That's very odd.
And you see the connection. It's just a center post and then an outer ring. And that just screws down.
So where's the earth? How is it earth? That post has got to be live, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Or positive.
The center post is the live positive, and then there's the insulator ring, and then there's an outer cone that this makes contact with
against,
for your ground.
Got you.
So I guess this is kind of like the precursor to mesh.
Yeah. That's very unusual. I'm keen to see how it works, actually. Now I've looked at that, I know I haven't got it, but the name still rings a bell.
It's very unique. I have never seen anybody else put out anything comparable to this.
Nah.
And then obviously in the box is your usual peripherals. You've got a replacement center post. You've got a non-squonkable pin to replace the squonk pin that's included in there. There's a 510 to 810 drip tip adapter and some spare rings.
Holy moly. That's going to be so easy. Just juice it up. And away you go.
And there's this replacement coil.
See, if you got that now, would you still be able to get the coils?
Probably not.
I'm going to say it probably. Well, it's an interesting idea. It's definitely something that I've never seen.
.18. And the thing is, I mean, you touch it with your fingers when you're putting it all on there. So you got your oils from your finger all over this. If you dry burn this, the wicking material is making contact with that. You can't dry burn this because the wicking material is going to be...
Yeah, you'll burn your wick out. It's weird. That's so
another
weird.
Novelty product. Just throw the juice on there and let it soak in and saturate.
I mean, theoretically, if you were a bit fussy, you could have probably turned it over, dripped the back before you put it on, then drip the top. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's more open at the back of the coil, wasn't it?
There isn't.
If you want to be fussy.
It's like a coin. It totally encapsulates the bottom so it doesn't leak out.
Ah, right.
The only place it's open, it's like a cup.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's all there is to it.
That's so simple. There you go. What an easy one that is. Big question is, how is it vape?
That's going to be a good question. A lot of surface area. But I have a feeling that this is something that's going to easily get to the point where you toast that coil.
That airflow is going to be really weird. That's going to, you'd probably have to breathe through that.
You can. And it's kind of surprising how whistly it is. There's very hardly any restriction to this whatsoever. New coil, yes. What was the best? 80? 70 to 80?
I'll
Someone go
break it in.
75?
I'll drop it a little bit low to break it in a bit first, like just to be on the safe side.
That's a good point.
$60's a good starting point, yeah.
Definitely has an off note from the oils on my finger.
That should soon burn off though.
I'm getting the beautiful raspberry and the cream. Produces amazing vape.
Wow.
I didn't get spit back, but I did get a very, very saturated vape after dripping on it the first time.
Yeah.
It works.
It works.
The flavor's not bad, considering how airy the tank is with all the 5 openings. You can close the top down. Close that opening a little bit.
Yeah, just take a row out, yeah.
Taking it down to 1 row, you definitely get the off flavors from your fingers on those coils because you couldn't dry burn them. With 1 row open, even mic vapes would be happy with the amount of airflow on this thing. You can get it pretty restricted with just 1 row open, 5 openings all the way around, but just 5 times 3, 15 openings, 15 holes.
I suppose it's got to be like that so the airflow can hit the whole coil, you know, so it can get all the way around the disc, like the disc in it. I suppose you've got to have them spaced all the way around.
And they're all kind of aimed downward.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I don't think this coil is going to last very long. If you set this thing down and you came and you picked it up and took a vape on it, it would suck to get a dry hit.
I wonder what material, does not state what material it's made from, the actual coil itself, or I was just wondering if it was something like stainless steel. You may be able to use a bit of temp control on it. You know what I mean?
Well, that would be wonderful if they did that. But you'd still run into the issue of, well, if it's in temp control, technically you won't burn the wick. The old school.
The destruction manual, as I kind of call it. I mean, I would have thought it might have been stainless if it's all one piece. You know, the whole cap, it's got to be stainless. You know, I would have thought.
Well, the actual outer portion of it would be stainless, but
yeah.
I mean, only because it comes from Vandy Vape. I learned the hard way when I was cleaning out a bunch of tanks that certain brands don't use stainless and brass for every freaking thing that they have out there. There are some cheaper brands. Where is it? Rinco is one of those cheaper brands that don't use high quality stuff for every damn thing in there. There's a screw that holds the deck together with the place for your coils. And I let that sit inside the recycling container overnight, filled it up with hot water and just let it sit overnight, let it completely dissolve everything on there. So the next morning I just dump this out, refill it again with hot water, let it soak there for the day. And at the end of the day, I dump it, run hot water through it until it rinses clear, and then put it onto a cloth to let it dry out so I can, shelve it. The screw that attaches the deck to the center rusted. And it was rust on everything. The glass, everything that was in here had a coating of rust in the water.
Wow.
Because they didn't use a stainless steel screw to attach the base deck to the actual coil leads.
That's best thing I say with the cheaper brands. I suppose you do pay for what you get. I mean, the quality not being the greatest, but
that's unacceptable for something that you're going to be using and breathing in.
You would think, like you say, when I say quality, I don't mean like lacking materials. I mean maybe just bad machining or a bit crappy, that side of it.
Well, that goes to show you that it's beyond just bad machining from cheap companies.
Yeah, you expect the actual materials to be up to spec, like without a doubt. Especially
because if he would have used a stainless steel screw, there would have been no issues whatsoever.
Crazy, man.
I could have easily been like Jay Hayes if I did the review on that product. Because I literally would have smashed it. I would have. It's not worth it. I don't care how good the vape is. If you're going to use a cheap carbon steel screw to attach your deck to this thing, you just ruined how many different devices here now that I literally have to take and put it into some vinegar to get rid of the rust, the steel rust on all the glass and on all the other drippers that were in here cleaning when I was cycling this out.
Pity you couldn't source another screw that is made of stainless.
Oh, I intend to some point in time down the road, but it's like one of those things that's like, I did the review on it one time and we used it the one time. You shouldn't have to do that.
No.
Because it's going to be an unusual metric standard because it's made in China. So it was readily available for them. But for me to find metric screws in the United States, hardware stores have gotten a lot better on it. But for something that's only 3 millimeters long, what do I have to do? Look through laptop screws in order to find one that's the right size?
Well, you've technically got a mini lathe there. You could make one.
It's not a lathe. It's just basically a drill. It's a fixed drill, and that's the nice thing about it because it's on that sliding rail. It's always going to be the same height. That was a problem I always had whenever I was trying to use a cordless drill. Is this vise is 4 inches off the ground. I can't lay the cordless screw sideways because it's too low, so I have to lift it up. I can't hold it upright because then it's at an angle.
That's right, yeah.
So this is just going to be perfectly parallel, perfect workbench for you to build stuff on.
Yeah. Perfect lathe for making wire.
Ugh. What are I saying about dry hits?
You've gone dry.
Oh, that awful taste.
Oh, it's no worse. No worse.
Back to a decent vape. But it won't take too many dry hits before this coil is toast, and then you have to replace it with another coil. Sorry, Vandy Vape. This is not a product that I would recommend people go out and buy. It's a nice novelty.
Becca Nicole said she didn't get to see that which one was you showing again. The Vandy Vape. Was the Vandy Vape Maze, wasn't it? The Maze. There we are.
There is the coil. It's a flat
odd.
maze.
But you know, kudos to these companies who do try a bit of innovation and something different. You know, I was like to say, a lot of the designs now they've kind of just gone stagnant. Really, you've got your everything's now post as build. There's nothing new on that. It's basically now just airflows, really. You know, who's coming up with the best airflow for that device.
It vapes great when you first get it. But as a dripper, you're constantly going to have to squonk this constantly to make sure that deck stays wet.
Oh yeah, it'll be a bit like your mesh coils. You know, you've got to make sure they're moist all the time. You know, like I say, you get them, try and get a bad hit off them. You know about it.
Yeah, because once the cotton is singed,
that's it. I mean, with drippers, you know, what you get, 3, 4, maybe 5 hits over a drip anyway. So you know, they're not like, you know, need to constantly chain on like a tank.
it does vape good. It does produce a decent vape. It's not thinned out like I would have kind of expected it to be with that much airflow. They did design that right. It's just,
I wonder, right? Just out of curiosity, because sometimes I'll try this, you know, I kind of mix and match parts of one onto another, right, by the same manufacturer. So I'm just wondering if you had like another Vandy Vape RDA and put that top cap on there, 5 volts in. That would be interesting.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
I'll do that now and then all the time. I'll swap. If an RDA cap may fit, obviously the same brand, you know, my manufacturer, just see if you can switch stuff about. I mean, I think there was I can't remember what it was. It was a tank that I bought, and it didn't have a bubble glass, and apparently the bubble glass of the Cerberus RT, I think that's a Vandy thing, that fitted this device, and it turned into a bubble glass. So you know you can like switch things about. And
I think the Cerberus was a Geek Vape product.
Geek Vape, that was it. Geek Vape guy. Geek Vape. It was one of the two. I keep getting mixed up. But that fitted another RTA to turn into a bubble glass.
Nice novelty Vandy Vape, but
get a Vandy Vape RD and put
this
that
is like
top
those
cap
$20 printers that they sell at the store that come with ink that's only about a fourth of the way full. And then when you go to buy the ink for it, it's $30 a pop. It only gets you 200 pages, 250 pages per cartridge.
I wonder how much them coils were. Out of curiosity.
But if you had this and this is what you were vaping on, this was your dripper, you'd have to have a stack of these coils laying around. Because it wouldn't take much for you to...
You should dry them out and burn them out.
Nice novelty, but thank you.
No.
All right. Unfortunately, the aftermath is going to have to wait till next time. It's been 3.5 hours. I'm not going to keep you guys here all day and all night.
Again, fucking hell, where'd that go?
It is a beautiful setup. But this is what we're going to do next week.
Oh, it looks nice. I like the look of that. That's
tube
nice. That looks nice.
We'll set that up for next week for you guys.
We should have done that instead of the Vandy Vape.
Yeah, but if we did this, we'd still be here working on it and building it and trying it out. And
I know.
I did have a set of coils that I made at the beginning of the show that have been ready for it.
There you go. Well, at least you're all prepared for next week, and that's where you're looking at it. Everything's
exactly.
Ready to go. What can I say?
Love hanging out and chilling with the Vape fam.
Oh,
awesome sauce.
Big love.
Dusty Country Resident, I don't ever want to go back to pre-made coils. The flavor was great in the Z-Tank, but the coils didn't last. Orbiter 2 all the way.
Yeah, Orbiter 2.
I'll stick with my original Orbiter.
I don't know.
And my
like,
wife sticks with her Arbiter 2. Her nighttime vape on her headboard is an Arbiter 2.
Arbiter 2.
She likes the reduced airflow in that one and the enhanced flavor capacity of the Arbiter 2.
That's my attraction. I'm not. I used to like lots of airflow, but now I like it. I like it. You know, restricted, and it just helps the flavor along in my eyes. Like, but
for me, this has the perfect airflow restriction, wide open, with those 3mm coils in there. You know, equally spaced in the center of that chamber. This has the perfect airflow restriction for me. And the flavor improvement on the Arbiter 2 isn't worth the decreased airflow of the Arbiter 2 versus this one.
I'll keep this, you know, mine's fully open. I mean, that's it. It's always whacked open all the way. You know, it's just right. It's got that, just like you say, it's just the right amount of restriction for it, and it's absolute. Plus, it's a top airflow. I think that's the way to get on with them now, man. Top airflow is the boy. Definitely. If you don't want an outleak in your pocket, these are the ones to go for.
Pam Spraggins enjoyed this week's show. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend ahead, a wonderful rest of the week.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that all nailed in and ironed out back there and get things set up on the table cam so we can do an actual feature one day and do an actual build on the live stream.
I also think, like, as well as the people in chat, you might want to see a demonstration on your new toy if you can squeeze that one in.
Yep.
The gauntlet's thrown.
Maybe we'll do that next week instead of actually doing, you know, a couple mixing recipes. We'll work on actually making our own coils.
Do a couple of coils.
I'll have to go back, check the replay, and see how the audio was, and make minor adjustments to there. But overall, I think everything went pretty well this week.
Not too bad. A few glitches at the beginning, but we got there.
And a couple glitches along the way. OBS crying I'm encoding overload again, but
I just think OBS is just twisty anyway. So it's something you can.
I think it's the latest driver, the latest graphics driver that just came out from NVIDIA. I installed that over the last couple days, and it's fixed a bunch of issues. Like my Stream Deck is now relatively responsive, but when I went to do the render for that intro, this thing, instead of taking 38 seconds, it took 2.5 minutes.
Oh, that's a bit odd.
So something's not right.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Something to check out. There's something to check out there, isn't it?
So, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and a hunky vape is my wish for you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day, fantastic rest of the week, a wonderful weekend up ahead. We'll see you same time, same place next week. Off to you, Kenny.
Yeah, again, thank you, all you wonderful people in chat. Absolutely love having your company. Makes it all worthwhile doing. Again, thank you to Alex again for putting up with me. I don't know how he does it, but there you go. And to yourselves, really. I feel like, I think it was a Police song of an Englishman in New York, I think it is. It kind of feels a bit like that. But anyway, that's a different subject. So for now, guys, stay safe, vape safe. We'll see you all same time, same place next week. You guys have a good one. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week again for a fresh round.
I wanted to escape for a while. I called a couple of friends and we went out. But I never thought I'd see your face. I really wanted to escape, but it was just too late. Someone said your name, had to turn around. Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. talk, 'cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh my, it's been a while now since I saw you, but it feels like yesterday somehow. Time has stopped, nothing's changed, we're the same. And we skip the small talk, 'cause you know me, yeah, you know me like nobody else.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the